Let me see. I got them guys on that phone. Hey, it's nonstop bulldog, and I tell you.
Always, man. Yeah, love it. Love it.
I found a picture of Richard Stratton and Howard Heinzel. So I was like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I was his picture. Then just
yo.
Oh, Borderland, what up?
What's going down? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yep.
Yes,
it's happening.
What's going on, school boy?
I'm here, present.
Mayday, what up? What up?
Mayday.
Schoolboy, Mayday.
Borderland, what's up,
man?
Shit, slow motion. Y'all never believe what I'm doing right now. I'm leaving work. They're meeting me halfway. They couldn't get a breeding done. So I was like, meet me. I'm about to do a breeding on the side of the highway.
Oh, you getting it. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's wherever you can.
That's bulldogging.
You know what I'm saying? Sir. I was like, fuck it. Put the dogs in the kennel. Meet me on the highway. Meet me halfway. I'll get it done.
There you go.
So, schoolboy, what can you tell us about Howard Heinzel and Richard Stratton and their contribution to the game?
Well, Stratton, of course, you know, he's a historian mostly. You know, he loved to breed. He bred some good dogs. He knew Bob Wallace, and he got around a lot. That's why you see this picture with Stratton. He visited, spoke with, you know, went different places, saw a bunch of different dog men, so he was familiar with them. He's also an ADBA judge, and in the early years, most of the ADBA judges were dog men. So, in fact, one of the best dogs I've seen came from him, a dog named Hank, who was sired by Wilkerson and Powell's Little Boot. Just an all-around complete dog, a finisher. He was obedience trained and house trained and all that. Real, just you know, what you would consider what a bulldog is, or all-around dog. And just a nice put-up animal, thick, you know, solid head like that, like a lot of the Hank dogs were. But he, you know, his books and all that, contribution, show judge, like that. Heinzel, of course, him and Richardson and a third party. It was actually a black guy who bred Diable, who made that breeding. The dog belonged to Heinzel and Richardson. But the third party is the one who actually made the breeding. And he contributed years and years of his dogs, which are basically made up of Tudor, Kobe, Leitner, Hemphill, what else? And one other, Corcoran or something like that. Basically five breeders' dogs made up the Heinzel bloodline. And that's true with almost every bloodline. They get dogs from here and there, different people they respect or dogs they see they want to breed to, put them all together, and then they start line breeding them, and some inbreeding, and create their own family of dogs. And then if he did outcross, it was generally to the Colby stuff. Him and Colby were friends for years, just like him and Tudor were buddies, years and years. White Rock, not only Diabo, but Lil, his sister, and Arizona Pete, who stayed in Arizona. Heinzel had him first, and then what's his name? Brown. Al Brown had Arizona Pete for most of his life. And he's the one who bred White Rock and Ernie, several other Diabo bred dogs. I think that's where he really took off, with the Diabo bred dogs mostly. And of course, like I said, Stratton got around a lot. It's a historical picture. He's knowledgeable. intelligent. He's got 2 or 3 PhDs. Stratton does. And he's actually written, you know, we know all the pit bull books that he's written, but he's written other books on different breeds of dogs, on birds. He's probably authored 27 to 30 books altogether. Most people don't know that.
Wow.
He's still kicking too. He's still alive. And still got all his faculties.
Yeah, to him. I definitely felt like I needed to reach out, you know, putting together community at least to get it's like advice from Richard, you know, and just some ideas on what they was thinking when they was doing that stuff. Like, it's not a thing to pay homage, you know, people that came before you. So I like to do that, you know. But it's,
well, they're still alive, you know.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a treat to chop it up with you, because as much as I know, or little as I know, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it can't be born when you wasn't born, you know what I'm saying? Just some of the experiences and the temperature, like you talking about, he got degrees and stuff, like, I ever known that? You don't know, because I mean, you don't have to have degrees to be a dog man, but that's an interesting facet to his game and his psyche, you know.
Yeah, it's with, you know, most pit bull guys, dogmen, breeders, compare whatever, you know, most of them are not highly educated, but some of them were. Harry Clark was another one that was highly educated. I have an audio tape of, and it's 2 sides, so I forget who's on which side and who's on the other side, but it's Harry Clark, Gaboon Trahan, Earl Tudor, Joe Corbino, Pete Sparks, and maybe another guy. But you can tell when you hear Harry Clark speak that he's educated, the way he talks. And there's you know, some of them were business owners, some of them were millionaires. Leo Kennard was a millionaire. That's why he could afford to take care of 600 dogs. And maybe 300 or 400 of them were pit bulls, and the other ones were just whatever dog, different breeds, mutts.
He had 600 dogs.
600 dogs.
Wow.
He probably owned thousands of acres. I don't even know what he did for a living, but I know he was rich, and I know that he would bring home any dog, a stray dog, this and that. He never called a dog either, according to what I've been told. Every dog that he had, if it was able to, lived out its entire life on his yard. He just loved dogs. So he had a ton of them. And like I said, not just pit bulls. But it gives a, you know, I tell people I write books. I'm not a writer, but Richard Stratton is a writer. He's formally educated. You know, he knows how to break it down. He knows there's a certain way to write things, and I just write how I speak, basically. But he knows how to format it. He's a historian also. He knows a lot about the breed. But there's other people that are educated, and but he's one of the most, I would say, with at least 2 PhDs. I mean, even my daughter has a master's degree, and she's working on her second master's. But the PhD comes after the master's degree. That's the highest form of education, pretty much, unless there's something else I don't know about. Yeah, well educated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Mike Dan in the building, Mayday, Borderland. Hey, it's a good day. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Mike. Yeah, Mike.
How you doing? It's cool, boy. How you doing, bro?
Good. Still breathing.
Yeah, y'all had a good show tonight. I was just over there.
All right. Thanks for your support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had to cut out at the end, so I don't know how long they stayed after I cut out.
Yeah, now make sure everybody get over there and support them brothers, you know.
Yeah.
Show
Yeah, the history of the breed is interesting. It's filled with. I'm glad you brought that up because we don't really speak about certain aspects of the breed or the people
So
involved in it.
The old rugged cross was the Kobe old family cross.
No, it's a Kobe Daibo or Kobe Henry. Yeah.
Okay.
Or Kobe Tudor, basically Kobe Tudor.
Okay.
Which would include the Henry dogs and then later on the Daibo dogs. Yeah, that's what they called it. I think Heinzel coined that phrase. Heinzel or Tudor did coin that phrase.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that. I was trying to figure out what two of those old lines. It seems like that's like, because you see how the Red Boy Jocko is real popular today. It seems like, you know, that cross, especially when we were talking about Kobe, was a real popular, you know, cross that everybody was probably doing, you know.
Yeah, it's repeated over and over throughout the history of the breed, just like I speak on the origin of the pit bull, which is English and Irish dogs. Right. So that's repeated over and over. And so is the old rugged cross repeated over and over. Just the name change, the people change and the name change. But it's basically the same thing. If you want to say the Red Boy Jocko cross, it's a Kobe Daibo cross, basically.
Right.
And within that, just like Tudor did and Heinzel did and other people did, there's old family red nose in there too, even if it's just a little bit. Right. That's why Heinzel incorporated the Hemphill stuff, all that old family stuff.
Yeah, man.
And it's basically guys just getting, looking and seeing and meeting these people, becoming friends of whatever, and seeing the dogs, and they just choosing what they consider the best dogs. It wasn't really chasing bloodlines. It was more to the man or whoever behind the dog.
That's right. What
dogs they had, and then which ones they liked, and then they breed to them. For instance, Daibo was in North Carolina. If you look him up, a lot of times it says 3-time winner. I don't know if he was a 3-time winner, but I do know at least one of his matches was reported. And it was, I think Bob O'Neill is the one who conditioned and handled him in North Carolina. So that's where his match was taking place. So my guess would be while he was there, somebody probably bred to him. Whether they were pups for sale or whether it was widely known or whatever, I don't know, but it would make sense that they, those guys were friends. So they had Daibo and he called up Tudor, or Tudor was there. He might have said, hey, I'd like to breed the dog. Sure, go ahead. You condition them, handle them if you want, breed to them. That happened a lot. It even happened during my time. If you went down to Mexico and you had to leave your dog there before bringing him back to the United States, and your friend is there, he's going to ask, or you're going to offer to breed the dog if they like the dog. Or if it's a female, whatever, hey, can I breed them? I'll give you some pups out of it. Breed her, go up the litter here and give you some pups. A lot of times, yeah, go ahead. And that's how they make connections. And a lot of these dogs are whelped that way, using that process.
Right. Okay, so I was talking to one of my partners the other day, and we was getting on these blue dogs, and we was getting on these dogs, and the staffs and those colors come in through some of those dogs and stuff. He alluded, because he goes back to some dog fighting lineage way back, what I'm saying, his grandparents and parents, and what I'm saying, way back, what I'm saying. And so he probably knows some stuff some untold secrets and stuff, basically, or have heard different things, you know. And it's my understanding that I don't know what year, but some of these dog men were actually adding some of those staffs and sons to the blood, and that's what was bringing some of those dogs out. So a lot of time, like, because I see, like, most of us, we're gonna be like, no, you're crazy, like this isn't happening. And even me, before I kind of heard this, it was like, wait a minute. And then like he's very knowledgeable in the game. He kind of alluded to let's say if you did take what are they, English staffs, or what are they? What are those?
The staffs?
The staffy bulls. What are they?
Yeah, the American Staffordshire Terrier is basically mostly, it's got some other stuff in it probably, but it's mostly the Henry dogs or Swineford dogs or the what's that other one? Shit, I forgot. But it's that stuff. That's why the staff look that way. Because that's what Blackjack Jr. and Blackjack, that's the way they look. More that staff-like looking pit bull.
So then they have with some other type of bulldog or something?
No, they actually took those bloodlines, and that's what made the American Staffordshire Terrier, and probably some Colby in there. Right. So back in the day, they were the same dog. They just had a different name. The AKC would not use the word pit in declaring a breed, right? A purebred dog. So, and a lot of the pit bull, the English dogs, came from Staffordshire County in England. So they adopted that name as Staffordshire Terrier, meaning if they're English dogs, they're called Staffordshire Terrier. If they're English dogs bred here in the United States, they're called American Staffordshire Terrier. So they have two breeds, and the only difference really is the size. The staffs are kind of smaller, and the American Staffordshire Terriers are bigger. But also they're different from the bully staffs or the bull staff or whatever, them little tiny ones, right? It's not those. So if you go farther back, the farther back you go, the closer you get to dogs of those type of dogs still being competed with, right? And in later years, and the UKC is the one who, like in 1935, they stopped dog fighting, made it a law. You can't do this and that. So they got away from the pit side of it. But that doesn't mean that everybody that had staffs still didn't match their dogs back then. They just went a different direction. And that's what we talk about in today's time, where they're watered down and they're not the same dogs, which is true. But even so, they still have some of those traits. And most people would tell you if a staff gets worked up enough, it'll fight. It may not be game, but it'll fight. And there's still going to be some that are game because it's in their lineage to be that way. So what these guys did later on, like Carver and like Hunter, Earl Hunter, and maybe even Jake Kaler, some of these people, what they would do is they would cross, I don't know if this is true or not, but it was said that this lady who owned staffs lived across the street and down the road from Carver. So every once in a while, he would breed his pit bulls to those staffs. And from my experience, what I seen, the reason for doing that, maybe a little bone structure, this, that, but it's basically to put mouth in your dogs. If you're familiar with any pit bull staff cross, most of them have hard mouths. So that's why they would do that. It's like an outcross, but it's kind of within the same breed, not an outcross, but a mixed breeding, meaning two different breeds of dogs, but it's within the same parameters of having the same lineage in the past. And just like some people, I don't know if it's true or not again, but some people would say that Walter Komasinski, he had bull terriers. So he had a lot of Colby dogs, a lot of Colby blood, and he goes way back too. So Some of his stuff is back there when even Leitner was matching dogs in his early days. They say that he crossed the bull terrier with the pit bull. That's why Komasinski dog, you'll see a lot of them have that slope, kind of like the old sport dog and kind of like a bull terrier. So it's a way to incorporate certain traits from something that shares a lineage, even if it's way in the back, with the American Pit Bull Terrier. And that's been done a lot. Even Buffalo Soldier, you know, I've had him on my channel a few times. Some of his best dogs were staffs. Now he didn't continue with it because there wasn't the consistency with them. But he had some famous dogs that were mostly staffs, like Grand Champion Farah. He was an 8-time winner, 1-time loser. He's the only one, to my recollection, that beat Rebel Kennels twice in a row. And he had Stacy, and he had Champion Stacy and Champion, I forget the other one's name. But he actually had staffs that he competed with. And then when they kind of petered out, he added more pit bull to it. And that's what most of the guys did. Let's say you throw something else in there. There's rumors that they throw hound dog and they throw this and that, whatever. Staff and bull terrier and all this stuff. The ones that know what they're doing will take that, the best ones from that mix or whatever it is, and they go back to the pit bull. And all they're looking to do is when they make that mix, they're looking for certain traits, like with a staff. Want more mouth? Breed to a staff. So if they get it, they're going to take the offspring from that mix and go back to the pit bulls and hopefully retain that mouth. If they do and they retain it, they can keep it in their bloodline, and whatever faults the staff or the bull terrier, whatever it has in it, is weeded out over 2 or 3 generations. So it may be a 50-50 mix at first. You take that, breed it back to the pit bull. Now it's 3/4 pit bull and 1/4 the mix. And then you do it again and you do it again. And then after so many generations, you can put the staff back in there again. It's not uncommon that people did that. But I've seen some of those staff pit bull, they can bite. They could. Like it was nothing, you know. But the Henry dogs, that's what they were known for. They were finishers and they were hard biters, rough and rugged.
Yeah.
So I could see how that would work.
Yeah. Nah, you know, I think the evolution of the dogs is probably a little faster, you know, because the generation, you know, you get generations quick. It's not like a human. You know, you get generations within a matter of years. You know, I can go through 5 generations in 10 years, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I made the same point not too long ago. Is it we see the results faster in dogs.
Right.
And with game fowl or rooster, whatever it is, you see it faster, because the gestation period for chickens is 3 weeks. So you can have a shitload of chickens within a few months. But with dogs, and because dogs and humans are similar because we're mammals, they're using dogs now to you know, to make comparisons with humans, you know, like hierarchy and family unit and their diet, all this stuff. So you're right, with dogs, you can do it a lot faster. It doesn't take a long time because they don't live that long. So they mature faster. The results come faster. You don't have to wait 21 years for an adult dog. At the most, it's 3 years. So yeah, the turnaround is quick compared to how long we live. So within you know, 2, 3, 4 generations, man, there's a lot of information that you can gather. There's a lot of traits that you can retain. There's stuff you can weed out, and you can lay a foundation after 3 or 4 generations. And as long as you keep the traits within your family, you don't lose them. And I think that's the concept that people don't get. That's why I'm always talking about don't do this and don't do that, and this is what happens, and blah, blah, blah. Because the consensus a lot of times is, well, for instance, well, cur dogs produce great dogs, yeah. Cold dogs produce great dogs, yeah. Well, I got a dead game dog. He don't have no ability and he don't have no mouth, but he's game, right? You don't have to use them excuses. You don't have to keep them culls in your breeding program, because once you develop a foundation, you have the traits you want. You don't never have to lose them. So one thing that comes up all the time, if you had a choice, what would you take, mouth or gameness? My answer is neither one. I ain't splitting them. Why can't I have both? Why would you settle for anything less than both? Or a dog with good air. He don't have no air, but I'm gonna throw him in there because he's game and he can bite and all. No, don't do that. Because that one fault, if it's a major fault, once you put it in there, you screwed your whole shit up. Mm-hmm. You messed it up. And that's why people don't have consistency. That's my experience. But that's why I speak the way I do a lot of times on breeding and animal husbandry and, epigenetics and, how you influence your dogs from a pup and what you do with them as they're growing up and their feed, nutrition, housing, preventative maintenance, good immune system and all this shit. Because it's not hard to retain once you have it, but it's real easy to screw up if you don't have a set of rules and standards that you follow. That's why you see inconsistency in a lot of breeders. And it's also the reason why top breeders, for the most part, they don't do that. They make exceptions every once in a while, which everybody does. It's never 100% do it this way or that way. There's certain reasons why you have to make exceptions. That's okay. But for the most part, if you stick to your standards, you're going to have consistency. And then you don't never have to lose the traits. But like I said, the easiest way to lose them is throw some crap in there. Like, talking to the past, like a very game dog. Oh, he's game as hell. He ain't got no air and he can't bite, can't fight worth a shit, but he's game. You don't have to settle for that. I wouldn't breed a dog like that. I wouldn't get rid of a dog like that, because to me, back in the day, any dog that was game deserved to live out its life. That's how much I admired the breed.
Absolutely.
That's respect. That's respect for the
absolutely
for the animals.
Right. But you don't have to breed them either. Be a nice pet. I got kids. I got
that's right.
relatives. They all raised with my dog, so I could put them anywhere. There's no reason like I can't afford it, or I'm not going to breed them, so I'm going to keep them. Well, there's options. I lived on 2.5 acres.
I talked to Mr. Burns. This was about maybe 25 years ago, maybe 22 years ago or something. He said that keep it for a road dog.
Why not? That's another reason. He's not going to quit. Right. And it's something that's not just, they don't quit. And it's good for young dogs, teach them this and that.
Right.
It also has the effect,
it'd be just for a young dog, but not too much.
Right. But it also has the effect of, we'll say older dogs teach young dogs different things. They can ruin them. They can impress them. They can enhance what they have, whatever it is. That's what a good game road dog is like that. It teaches a young dog that this son of a bitch ain't going to stop no matter what. And it might influence them in a positive way where it helps that young dog mature faster, knowing that, hey, this is the real shit. This ain't no playing around. So there's positives all the way around for it. And that's a good point, because that's what a lot of people did. And even myself, I had one dog that's what he was. His brothers were good. He was good. He wasn't top notch, but he could bite a little bit. He could fight. He was smart, but he wouldn't quit. And whatever I put him on, because he had so much time on him and experience, he could handle whatever you put on him. If a dog bit hard that got on him, he'd get on their head or their muzzle. If the dog wasn't really into it, he'd get in their ass and just kick the hell out of them. Show them this is for real. It'll wake a pup up, a young dog, not a pup. That's just the verbiage we use. But it'll wake them up and let them know this is for real.
I got a question for the panel. Can a man with no 1,500? Appreciate you. Long way for the super chat too. Basically, can a man with no $1,500 stud fee and no 2,500 to spend, a top dog man right now, do he have longevity in this game? Who spent money to get started? Then he said Buck spent a lot of money over the years. So let's open it up and see what some of the answers are from the panel.
I say yes. And the reason why I say that, now, I don't know you, bro, but it's just like getting fucked. You got to get in position, right?
Right.
It's like that with anything in life, man. You got to put yourself in position. And if you're a quality individual, man, you ain't gonna have no hard time getting no dog. Now, right. I got a friend just made a real expensive breed. I would say he about $4,000 into it now, right? So naturally, he's not gonna be trying to just give away something. But at the same time, man, I'm gonna tell you, some of the best dogs I had were given to me, man. And oftentimes people want to know that they're dogs because they take them real personal. They want to know that they're going to a good home and that they're going to have a fair shot in life. That's huge with a lot of people. A lot of people may not know that, man. You hear a lot of rah-rah on this YouTube. I call it the Matrix, right? You hear all this rah-rah this, rah-rah that. But, man, you'd be surprised what a good quality individual can do in this game. And that's why I say it depends on you. It's like that with anything in life, man. Now, if you got it to spend, yeah, you might develop a relationship with a man that has a really nice yard. Man, I went to my buddies to get a dog and I had the money in my pocket. He said, man, I don't feel right charging you. He said, you can give me a bag of dog food right now. I really wouldn't care. But I paid him. And I paid him based on the strength of what came out of his mouth, man. That meant something to me. And I know how he is about letting his dogs go to homes and what kind of home they're going to have and what kind of care they're going to have. So a lot of that, the long way depends on you, man. And can you build a yard from that? Absolutely. Now, I'm not knocking nobody that's worked hard over the years and decades to put themselves in position, to charge a nice dollar for their dogs. If they got good dogs, they got good dogs. But know this, every puppy is a crapshoot. You ain't guaranteed no Chinaman or whatever out of their buck or nothing. You ain't guaranteed that. So, you're going to go through a lot of disappointments and stuff. This ain't for the faint of heart, man. These dogs. I'm telling you, it takes time. It takes patience. I remember I was running around buying dogs from this yard, and that yard. And everybody's like, man, slow down, man. And I bought my first puppy in 1973 for $5 from a friend. And they said, man, you run around here spending all this money, but are they selling you what they're using? See, this was a different day and time, right? It was different back then.
They told you that way back then?
Way back then.
Woo.
Told me to pump the brakes. Are they selling you what they're using? See, it's the difference. So if you got somebody that's active back then and you went to their yard, naturally you don't want what they're using. You don't want somebody that got it sitting over on the side of the yard, say, oh, I'll take $5,000 for this one or $1,500. No, you don't want that. You want to develop relationships, man. Relationships will carry you a long way. Start there. Don't worry about your paper. Start with a relationship, man.
Right.
Relationship.
Show your worth. Show your worth.
Yes. Forget about all this stuff you see on YouTube, man. This ain't bulldogging. This is not. I can't stress that enough. This is not bulldogging. Y'all lucky enough to have people like Schoolboy around. I don't have that kind of. I'm 66 years old. I ain't got that kind of memory that he got.
This is recess, right? This YouTube is recess. This is after you get through working and then you just come and chill and just, maybe drink a Corona or something. This is recess.
That's right.
This is not the game. I keep telling people, but maybe I'm not. it's not coming across because those relationships, man, are important out here, man. You know.
Yes. That's
my bad, y'all. I lost signal.
Oh, you good, my brother? You good, brother?
So what I missed?
None. We just talk about the question. The question was can you get on with little to no money out here in this game? That's what the brother the long way put the question up. Can a man with little or no bread do his thing?
Oh, well, I think so. If you know the right people, it's like that's where I popped in, where they was saying building relationships. Well, that's where it all starts at.
Right.
Right. The relationships that's how I feel about it. Speaking of which, schoolboy, my boy told me to ask if you remember over in Mexico at Poncho stuff back in the day. His name is Fred Perez.
Say that again, if I remember what?
You used to call him Slick over there when you in Mexico. We would run into you at the shows, at Poncho shows, and you would call him Slick. Yeah, that's my partner, man.
Okay, cool. Yeah. We had some good times down there. Yeah. Now to the question, the first gentleman that talked, I couldn't have said it any better. That was on point. It's exactly what it is. If you think of it this way, anything you get into is going to cost you money. But how much money you want to spend is going to depend on your income or what you can afford. But you don't. The one point he made, I'll reiterate it. The best dogs I got were given to me.
That's right.
And where the money's going to cost you in that respect is you may have to travel to someone's house. You may have to spend time with them. You may have to, whatever you got to do. And if you're loyal and straight up and honest and you ain't a thief or a whatever, and you're serious about it and you love the breed, you're going to find somebody who's going to connect with you. And you may have to buy a dog. Everybody buys dogs. That's just a given. That's what you have to do. And again, it just depends on who you talk to, what they have. And another good point was, were they using what they selling? If they ain't, then maybe that's not what you want.
That's right.
But once you make that relationship, they're going to trust you. So they want you to have a good dog. They want to give you a good one because they trust you to, take care of it right and do it right and all that stuff. And it's just going to reflect back on them. This dude sells good dogs, or he gave me a good dog, or whatever.
That's right.
But that takes time and money to build that relationship. You don't have to be rich. Most of the people in dogs ain't rich. They don't have a lot of money. On the flip side, if somebody wants a dog bad enough, they're going to pay whatever. They don't question the price. But it's no shame if you can't afford that guy's price. And I don't knock people for selling their dogs whatever they want to sell them for. That's their business. My option is I don't have to buy it if I don't want it.
I mean, if you call somebody, schoolboy, if you call somebody that's known for selling puppies, right? I mean, that's pretty much what they're known for, the breeding. They got, maybe have multiple litters on the ground, and you call them up and say, I'm interested in a puppy. Well, you not knowing that person, they're gonna give you a set price. Yeah, I want $1,500 for this litter over here, and $2,000 for this litter over here. But
right.
It's important. Bob Love was my mentor, but it took me years to get to that yard, man. You know what I mean? And once I got there, I cherished that moment, man. And that's just a fact.
Yeah. And whether you knew it or not at the time, he was one of the best. So whether that happened by luck or you recognize that this dude, this person, he knows his shit and he's good and he this and that could be the angle too. Some people do fall into dogs by luck. I have a friend. He started with Barney Fife. And the only reason he knew Barney Fife was because Barney Fife lives next to his grandmother. Mm-hmm. So he was a 13, 14-year-old kid when he met Barney Fife, and that was his mentor, and they became friends and all that stuff. Right. It don't happen that way all the time. But the other thing is, here's the thing, because people sometimes have an expectation for a pup or a guarantee or whatever. You can't guarantee shit, just like he said. It's a toss of the dice when you grab a pup. It could be a good one, it could be not a good one. You can get a bunch of them that ain't worth the shit if they're puppies, and you can get one right off the bat, and that's a top dog.
That's right.
And that's where the longevity comes in. If you really stick with it, you'll end up getting good stuff. And you make those relationships. And not only that, if you're serious and the person you get dogs from is serious as well, you're going to be, it's not just one sided. It's not like he took care of you and he's your friend and all that. That stuff is going to come back to him, because you're going to bring it into your stuff and you're going to have your own stuff, and he might like it too. So now you're trading pups and you're trading dogs back and forth. And I did that with a couple of people. And I don't take this the wrong way, but I looked at it like I did my weed. At some point, I'm not paying for weed no more. And at some point, I'm not going to pay for dogs no more, right? Because I made these relationships. I'm a solid dude. They like what I have. I like what they have. Let's trade. There ain't nothing wrong with that. And that's how it usually ends up. And I would imagine it's still that way today. I know it happens in Mexico that way. That's just the way it is. They make these solid relationships, and now they trade in dogs back and forth. And it allows the breeder, the main breeder at least, to where he can have more of his dogs because his buddy has them and this guy has them, this guy has them. They're solid people. It's all good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, but I was going to say I agree, but at the end of the day, still depending on the individual. As far as somebody could get good dogs and don't know what they're doing with them, fuck them up. You know what I'm saying? And I agree for the fact that I'm type living the situation. 6 years ago, I was 7. My main dog, he about 6. So this say 6 years ago, my old timer had litter. I wasn't tight. He wasn't that fly. You know what I mean? So I was offering to buy the pups. He started going with my cousin. So now I'm actually seeing the guy a little bit more. So, you know, I'm on his ass like, hey, what's up? You going to tell me him? Now, one of my friends happened to whelp the puppies. So they actually at my friend's house. So, you know what I mean? So long story short, he tell me it's a male over there, it's a female. So basically you pick which one you want, you can go grab it. So I'm like, say no more. I go over there, you know, same few minutes. Not playing with you. I go right over there. So my friend, he got 5 puppies. The dog had 10, so he only got 5 left. But he gave me 3 of them because it was too much for him to handle. You feel what I mean? So he gave me 3 of them. Like, man, come on, take all them shit, man. Long story short, I got 2 of them shit still to today. One of them wound up. The winter took one of them. I bred my male a few times in the 6 years. I bred the female one time in the 6 years. Female titled up, whatever the case may be. And to this day, motherfuckers trying to send me dogs, you know what I mean? I had moved from up top to get more space, get more room, and do my own thing. And I'm good, basically, you know what I'm saying? And I still be wanting to purchase dogs, but then it be on, I think Mike Dan just said it'd be on some shit where it's like, why buy dogs when I got individuals want to send dogs down here on the regular? I don't accept them dogs because, you know, motherfuckers be in too much shit. So, you know, at the end of the day, I be on some shit like I'm just going to fall back and do what I'm doing. But that's how I got my shit started. And that was 6 years ago, you know what I mean? And I'm all right, like, you know. I can't complain type shit.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that you think can happen in the dogs, good, bad, and different, is gonna happen if you're in the dogs long enough.
That's right.
And the relationships that don't work out, just cut them loose, let them go. Talk shit if you want to, but stay focused on what you're doing. It takes time before you trust someone. And some people shady. They fool you into thinking they're your friend. So when the relationship ends, they might have screwed you over. The only positive out of that is that they ain't getting no more of your dogs.
Right.
So if they talk shit about your dogs, my question would be, well, why'd you want them in the first place? If they ain't worth a shit now, why did you want my dogs in the first place? They just sour.
Yeah.
They just sour because they fucked up. So now they have to talk shit.
Yeah.
Whereas if you keep the relationship good, everybody on the up and up, you ain't gonna run out of dogs. And if you still feel like buying something you think is necessary, important like that, go buy it. There's nothing wrong with that. But everything happens to everybody. It ain't like somebody smooth through this dog game clean. It ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't. You know.
Man, that dog,
smartest dude.
When he was a puppy, I drove 30 hours to get that puppy.
Yeah.
30 hours. And he was a gift. He was a gift to me.
Yeah.
But it took me 30 hours, 15 hours one way to go get that puppy, man. He was 6 weeks old. And it's the thing, you know, a lot of times, like I say, some of them won't turn out, some of them may. But don't drag somebody's yard, man, because you went up, he got trash over there. You can't base a man's whole yard off of one puppy. That's not right. Realistic.
Oh, not even 2 or 3. Not even one litter.
No.
It's got to be, you know, because because you're gonna get that no matter what. It's gonna happen to you if you breed dog. You can have some litters ain't gonna be that good. Some litter might not work out. You got some that are top shelf. Those are the ones you follow. But you can't get away from all this shit happen to you. It's gonna happen. It's just how dedicated are you? How honest are you? Mm-hmm. And do you want to stick with it? If you stick with it, I guarantee, because I ain't the smartest dude in the world, and I ain't the richest dude in the world, this and that. So my point is, if I can do it, anybody could do it. But not everybody has the same dedication.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
It's crazy. It's crazy you say that. Back to the I'm always speak on, you know, my experience. Like I said, my friend had them 2 puppies when old head told me to go get the puppies. Well, 1 anyway. When I went over there, he gave me them 3. I wasn't expecting to go get 3 puppies. You get what I'm saying? I was expecting to go get 1. He gave me them 3. I took them 3, not even thinking about it, because I knew them ships were gonna get taken care of, well taken care of. And my friend, I want to say 2, 3. Nah, they were like 6, 7 months. He wound up selling his shit. He wound up selling one, and this one got away, and you know what I mean? And it used to be, I'm trying to look the right word, comforting to me, because every time old timer seen me with them dogs, because I used to be walking them shits, you know what I'm saying? So every time he see me with them shits, first thing, yo, man, that motherfucker look good. You know what I mean? All of them shits, like yo, them motherfuckers look good, man. That's why to this day, like he be on my ass, like, yo, bro, I got something for you. I'm like, nah, I'm good, like. Cause like I said, I done built what I got off the shit he gave me. Like you get what I'm saying?
Right.
My man had motherfucking a litter, cause I inbred them 2 3 years ago. 10 puppies. I kept 3 of them shits, bro.
You got a good track record with them. You know, that's that relationship.
I sent them shits in. My cousin was helping me with the dogs when I was in Jersey. One of my peoples was helping, you know what I mean? So I sent them shits in. Like I did my part, like, you know what I mean? So I stayed solid to the motherfuckers that, you know, put me in the game. And it's funny because me and my friends used to always argue, like, because he used to always be like, it's wintertime, so yo, he ain't bringing no hay over here, he ain't bringing no food. I said, bro, I just got 3 puppies, bro, for free. You think I'm calling this man asking about some dog food, bro? Asking about some hay? Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he used to be on it like that, like, bro. Like, damn, he ain't sending me no money. I said, bro, I don't give a fuck about none of that, bro. If I got to go in there and make my dogs a pot of rice, my man, they gonna eat. Like, you bugging. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Well, if let's backwards a little bit. We talking about the dog. If you can get on with more money, that those things right there, and because there are people in the community that they're not in it for the money and they just need to place a handful of them. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that somebody was able to throw you that lob and you didn't drop that ball, though, I think that's more important than anything.
That's right. That's right, Buck.
You could have dropped that ball, brother. You feel me? You could have fumbled that bundle, and that fucking up for everybody.
Bro, I promise you, every time that man saw me with them dogs, yo, first thing out of his mouth, man, yo, that motherfucker look good, bro. I'm like, man, I don't fuck around, bro. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I got a family and everything, but these dogs this is what I do type shit. Like, so I ain't even about to fuck around. Like, I don't play that shit. That's why I said, I had my dogs in a situation where I'm in New Jersey, so shit tight up there where it's like, and I had them right here over there, like, and me not actually going over there because I had somebody holding it down. I lost one of them shits, bro. I probably was in North Carolina like 3 months later, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I could get the space, man. I said, man, I ain't fucking around, bro. And that shit crushed me because she was her, like, she was the one, like, you feel me? So I'm like, man, I mean, but like I said, when my man had the puppies, I sent everything in, man. Like, I did my part, like, to show motherfuckers how loyal I get, like, you know what I'm saying? Old time, I just bought some shit down here, actually, like, a couple months ago and shit. That black shit I showed you.
Right.
So, that's why I said, I mean, and I started from basically nothing, because them shits was free. You get me?
Yeah. Let me see.
And out of respect, you want to do the best thing you can for that dog, man, and show that appreciation. That's the best thing you can do. Feed them right, raise them right, do all the things you need to do. Maybe something else later on. I think this will work well with what we got. You know what I mean? All kind of stuff
like that. Yep. Like that. But if you ruin the deal, don't blame the guy. Don't make it sound like, I got a pup from him. I'm helping him out. I cut his feed bill, help him with it. No, it ain't that. He did you a favor. Show your appreciation. Try and do it the right way.
That's why I said I was damn near begging Brody, man. Let me buy one of them pups, man. He like, oh, my aunt got one, and I said I would give her one, and I said, bro, whatever you want, I'm gonna buy it, bro. The minute that man said, matter of fact, man, it's a girl over there, you can grab her. Or matter of fact, it's a boy, you can either one you want. And I went over there, my man gave me all three of them shits, bro. I'm not about to even ask no questions. You hear me? Old time I knew I had all three of them. Actually came like 2 weeks later and got them in probably a couple days actually, and got their shots because they took the whole litter to get the shots. Brung all three of them back. Now I thought they was gonna do some funny shit at that time, like then they about to probably take 2 of these shits. But the nigga brung all three of them shits back, boy. I said, oh, all right, say no more. Know what I mean? I'm not about to beg them, ask them for no money. I'm not about to hound them for this or nothing. I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, you feel me? I'm working. I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I said them shits was like 8 months, and my man wound up selling his shits or doing whatever he did, man. And then, like, to this day, like, and then my man, when I had them 10 puppies 3 years ago, because I still got my shits in the yard. But when I had them puppies, my man was damn near on my ass. Like, yo, you gonna send me something? I'm like, boy, you so late aunt and uncle. Like, I ain't about to. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't seen you these shits. Be like, come on, bro, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
It depends on who you get the dog from too. They should have some type of reputation, and it matters. It matters who bred them, what they do with them, why they got them, how long they've been breeding them. If a breeder can't tell you the good and bad about his dog, he's not being honest. So it's a two-way street in that respect. You got to go to good people. And the way I did it back in the day was, I like certain styles of dogs. I like certain bloodlines. Who got it? Who doing good with it? And then I go to that person, and then we we start doing things, get along. I've traveled over there. They come out here. Yeah. Oh yeah. I traveled 31 miles straight to Mexico, nonstop, and 31 miles back.
Mm-hmm.
Just to do some dog stuff. And I've been several times. Someone back east meets us halfway in Texas. We come out from the west, go to Texas just to trade dogs or drop something off. Spend a couple of hours, 15-hour drive, spend a couple of hours, eat, talk some shit, and see you later, and then go back home. It's amazing what people would do for these dogs. I traveled 4.5 hours just for a 5-minute roll.
I drove to North Carolina. It took me 2 days from Seattle, Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I picked up 5 dogs. I stayed there. I took 2 days to get there. We stayed 1 day. It took me 2 days to get back.
Like that. 5 days just to get a couple of pups.
That's right.
All the way to the other side of the country.
And you don't think nothing about it. You ain't have 1 second thought about it.
Nah. Hell no.
Nah, hell no. I wanted that. Man, I plotted that. All I needed was a couple people to go with me. That's it.
Yeah.
Once I had that, we got the last person at the last minute.
Yeah, that's how I'm pulling out
on this road.
I'm pulling out just like that.
I'm on the side of the freeway waiting to do a breeding.
Yeah,
I was watching one of these shows, and
that's what I'm talking about. That's real bulldogging right there.
That's right.
Oh yeah, he
getting it in.
You know what I'm saying? Well, not just breeding for shift at work. We about to get this in, and I'm going back, go to sleep, and go to work in the morning.
That's right.
On the flip side, building your yard with little to nothing. On the flip side, it could be frustrating as shit. I don't know how my personality might come across with the people that I was around. Said it's a lot of competition, and I might come across as a dude that but maybe motherfucker might not want to help all the time. You know what I'm saying? And because I don't know, it was just kind of weird. It was frustrating. I really couldn't get the pieces that I really wanted, though. You know what I'm saying? It was like, or okay, they got a litter coming, so you wait on the litter, then the litter get there, and then I don't have enough, or just like it'd be some bullshit sometimes, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And then my partner told me, he was like, man, if you want, you got to buy what you want, bro. You got to buy what you want. He was in his bag at that time, so he was able to, get what the fuck he wanted and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of playing I did all this for y'all back then and shit. What's happening? That kind of role.
Well, you can do it that way too.
It didn't work out. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
See, when you got shit, it's easy to get shit. You know what I'm saying? So there might be some type of initiation fee, just to kind of get you in the dough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I had one friend. He's a top dog guy too. He would, if he liked a certain person's dog, and they had a litter or 2 litters or whatever, and it could be more than one person, he'd buy 3 or 4 pups out of the litter, or he'd buy the whole litter. Because in his mind, he's thinking, if I buy 3 or 4 pups, one of them got to work out. If I buy the whole litter, 1 or 2 probably going to work out.
Right.
And he'd just go through them. But when you're starting out, you're going to go through a bunch of dogs, unless you just happen to, someone like Bakary, he landed with some good people, got some good dog right off the jump, top dogs. That doesn't happen all the time. Most of the time it don't. So you're going to go through a bunch of dogs. I went through several of them, and I ended up with 3. That was my foundation. And then another bitch we bred to. So 4, it wasn't mine, but it was bred similar to mine, real similar. But that's what I started out with, 3 dogs. It's not unusual. And then you build from there.
Well, I look at Buck's breedings. Buck's been breeding dogs for quite a while. I've noticed that by looking at a lot of the pedigrees he's put up there. He's has some good dogs, but then he settled on something that he liked. You know, evidently probably gave him some consistency. You know what I mean? And it probably took him some time to get there. So, like Schoolboy said, everybody ain't gonna get it off the rip. I certainly did it, man. But man, you might go through 50 puppies to get one good one. I'm just keeping it a buck, man. Ain't no need in playing with this, man. That's just how it is.
Right. You're right. Man.
Now you can minimize maybe to 25 or 30, going to the right spot and hooking up with the right people. But you got to have patience, and it takes time, man. You got to do your due diligence when it comes to this, man. It ain't no overnight success type thing.
Yeah. And that's common, very common. You can go. In fact, Rosterman, everybody know who Rosterman is. He said he started with 40 dogs one time. By the time he went through them, he had 6 dogs left.
6.
But they were top dogs.
About right, though. I mean, what do you expect to have 34 left? Like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay, so you only get rid of 6 out of 40.
But some people don't think that way, Buck. They don't think that way. They don't think with common sense. And they don't understand that there's examples of that happening across the board. It happened with Tudor, Heinz, all these people we're talking about. Richard Stratton,
that's what it is.
Maurice Carver.
That's how you know that
everybody
that
did that.
Good.
That's right.
Because you had 40 of them that wasn't. Or when you get this bloodline, and what I always say, like, it depends on the dog. Like, he's like, damn, why the fuck you always say that? Well, it does. It depends on the dog. I can't just point you in that direction and forget about those 7 or 8 of them that wasn't shit. You know? Okay, fuck it. We can talk about that. You can talk about that then. You know, I mean, that's what we're going to. This topic is
where it paid off for me in the long run was right. Where it paid off for me in the long run was when somebody I was connected with wanted to send me a dog. It was a grown dog ready to go. I didn't have to go through none of this stuff. If I want to look at them, I look at them, but sometimes I did. Most of the time I did, but it wasn't long. But that's the payoff. Now I don't have to raise a dog. I don't have to do this. And yeah, it's someone else's dog, but if they have the same kind of standards, you're okay. You know, and then you just use them. You could breed them if you want. You could use them. I used them mostly in competition. A couple of them I bred to them because I really liked them. And you know, so like I said, there's all kinds of facets to it. But if you ain't dedicated and you ain't willing to accept losses or shit ain't gonna work out all the time, then you ain't gonna last. The average maybe is different now, but back in the day, the average time a person who got involved with a pit bull was 5 years. That was kind of the marker whether you're going to stay or you're going to get out, and a lot of people got out.
Yeah,
you just couldn't handle it.
He said it's hard to trash some shit you saved up an arm and a leg for.
Yeah, well, there again, there's that mindset. There's that mindset. If you don't accept that is going to happen, then you're going to have to rethink. Because, like I said, it happened to everybody. Money you could have bought a house with, man. You know, it just that's the way it is.
Do this.
All right, brother. Good luck.
Yeah, man.
Good luck.
Salute to you, brother. Good luck.
For sure. We about to get it in. I'll hit back if y'all still on.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, you know, I understand. That's why I say sometimes you make exceptions, man. You spent this money on this dog. Maybe you want to breed it. Maybe you don't even want to look at it. The cats. See how it works out for you. But once you've developed a family of dog, you have your foundation. You don't have to make a lot of excuses for it. Why am I gonna breed a dog that has a hard mouth but quit when I have another one that has a hard mouth and didn't quit. You don't have to make excuses no more. No reason for that. It takes time to get to that point, but that's the way I looked at it. Oh, you did this. Oh, he did that, and maybe I'll try him later. No, his brother didn't quit. His brother can fight like hell. He's not the one. So I don't breed him. Let it go. It doesn't matter if they bred the same genes, same pedigree, that don't matter. That's to your point, Buck. The dog matters. Which ones are you using? Which ones are you keeping?
You don't want every dog to continue your bloodline. You know.
Yeah, every dog ain't worth it. Ain't worth it. It ain't worth every dog. It can't happen that way. It just, whether it's nature or whatever it is, it just don't happen that way.
Yeah, you got to be honest with yourself. Don't lie to
Yes, sir. Yeah. Save you some heartache in the long run. Maybe in the early part you're gonna have some heartache or disappointments, but in the long run you're gonna be sitting on tall cotton, as they used to say. Man, you're gonna be good.
That's right.
And you're gonna have a bunch of them. You're still gonna have the ones that don't work out. That's just a given. But you're gonna have more than a few that are, man, these are some nice dogs. Be proud of them. They reflect what kind of breeder back in the day, what kind of competitor you were. This dude brings out some solid dogs every time. Win, lose, draw, whatever it is. You got some good dogs. And then people come look you up. You don't even have to hardly advertise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see who's in the building. Stay blessed in the building. Snowman. Alex Grady in the building. Salute. Yeah, these subjects, man, you know, people spend that bread. Hey, so do you guys believe in this? Our case say it's an expensive ass dog that you're buying. Do you believe in a dog being purchased or just grabbing a dog just strictly for brood? Not a dog, a puppy. Not a dog, a puppy. Is that like, no, can we be off limit? Hey, I spent a lot of money. I spent, 2 racks or 2,500, like he said, Can I just say
that exception
or what?
Yeah, there's that exception. When you're starting out, you might be able to have to do that almost, I was never that way, but I understand people's thinking. They have that investment. But again, you're gonna have investment no matter what.
My thing is that you gotta whatever you bring is gonna be based on you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So if you got this ass backwards jump shot that keeps going in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like who's gonna say anything? Like,
well, I mean, I don't criticize people for what they do, and if they're successful at it, I have less of no criticism. Yeah. Who am I to say?
See, I think we micromanage a lot more now. I think we micromanage a lot more now with the, with everybody being able to kind of guess what people are doing a little easier, with all the technology. Even though that went on,
and people put it out there, they show their hand, that's for sure, or at least they sound like they do. But for me, a brood dog is every dog that I'm going to use. It doesn't, to me, it didn't matter if it was inbred, outcrossed, line bred, loose, whatever. That's the potential I saw in the dog. If it didn't work out, I wouldn't use it. If it did, it didn't matter if it was an outcrossed dog.
That's what I was always taught. I mean, I'm not a breeder, but I was always taught your brood dog is the dog you use. I mean, anything can happen with these dogs, but I don't know exact science to this, man. I just don't.
I think a brood dog is definitely like an honorable discharge. Like,
there you go.
I don't never think that's like a dog not performed, or doesn't have the capabilities all the time, where people kind of put that on there, like, okay, this dog is a brood dog because it's crap. It could be a brood dog. It lost all its teeth. That's all it's good for now.
I
you can't.
Barter that too.
Well, in the past, that's what a brood dog was. If they said he's bred for breeding, there was something wrong with it. So it was a heavily inbred dog that had no ability or no whatever, or it was it's bred a certain way, so I'm gonna keep it for brood. That's totally changed. It don't mean that no more. But see, we can't say all this stuff without having some facts to back it up, or some examples at least, to show this is why we think the way we do. So when I say it didn't matter to me if it was inbred, outcross, or line bred, there's examples of all three being producers. And I said it before, Buck, I'll say it again here. If you look at the ROM list, most of the dogs on there were competition dogs, and they ain't inbred dogs. Just name a bloodline named after a dog, whether it's Boomerang, Zebo, Boleo, Mayday, Macho Buck, whatever it is, they're competition dogs. And most of them ain't inbred. And that's not to say an inbred dog can't produce. They do. That's a fact too. But throughout the history of the breed, whether it's Blackjack Jr. or Fly Panama and all them old dogs back in the day, Colby Pincher and all that, they ain't inbred dogs. Very few of them. Because the soul of the pit bull back in the day was competition. And that's what people looked at. And if that dog is a competition dog and came from competition dog, there's a good chance he could throw you competition dog. So if you look at it that way with any trait in the dog, that's what you should get. And if you don't get it, don't use it. But it's not like hit and miss, man. It's not where a dog has to be bred a certain way. And at the same time, you got a bunch of scatterbred dogs with no genealogy and no form in their breeding pattern or none of that. That ain't gonna work either. So it's just the whole breed was based on competition. That's my point. That's where it comes from. And in today's world, competition, get out there and do something with them. Run them treadmill races and hog hunt with them, hunt coyotes. Maybe you don't have that opportunity, but you can have a weight pool dog or wall climb dog or something, because that part of that physicality is what makes the dog it is. That's what gives it the bone structure and the muscle and the hard tendons and the health and the thick skin and good teeth and all that. You take any of that away from the dog, you don't have a pit bull no more. Even if it might look like a pit bull, it can't do shit. It's just a couch potato now.
Yeah. No, I definitely, would like the dog to be old enough to at least assess some of its physical and mental capabilities before I breed it. But I could see, okay, let's say I did buy a pup for that. I could see it still not being deemed for breeding because maybe it's not the right, it just didn't come out right. He didn't have the right build. He didn't have the right attitude, So, pretty much when you breed that, you're going to get the same. Not the same. You probably get something different. You might even get something better, but you might get that same shit. And you gotta realize.
No, you're right. Your first statement was right, pretty much. As a general statement, you're gonna get the same.
Right.
You're gonna get the same. If you have exceptions, that's all they are, is exceptions.
Right.
If it's a major fault, don't breed them. If you consider it a major fault, if it's something that ain't that bad, you get away with it and all that. No big deal. It doesn't really affect the physicality or the structure or the athleticism. That's okay. because when you breed, you generally get the average of the breed, or the average of your particular bloodline, or the average of your family of dogs. For example, Big Red, everybody knows who he is. He was a 54-pound dog. I bred him different size bitches. One was a 50-pound bitch. For me, he never threw a dog over 45 pounds. Why? Because that's the average of his lineage, male and female. So other people bred him. They got some big dogs, but for the most part, he didn't throw a big dog, even though he was a big dog. And Red Boy was a big dog too. But again, the averages with my stuff was not big dogs. So to what you're speaking of, yeah, you get the same thing.
My hat's off to the breeders. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like to breeders, sometimes I get out my Picasso kind of like, you know, with breed, just kind of just thinking and just researching and just putting stuff together. You know, there's definitely different styles that people use to be able to put stuff together. One of my partners talked to Carl Cruz before he passed, and asked him what the recipe. I'm gonna get him on here one day, but you know he'll be able to tell it. But he asked him what was the recipe to kind of make good dogs. It was a very unique breeding strategy. But one thing that he said is that his wife kept track of, you know, the 50-50s and the 75-25s and the quarter outs and the, you know what I'm saying? She kind of kept track of that. And one thing that stuck in my mind when I was listening to that was like, damn, okay, so I mean, no shot, you know, but just even with technology, even with military, whatever, you know, we stronger and smarter today, you know, with shit, because like something that you let a whole nother person keep track of, it just kind of comes natural to me. Like before you can throw it up in the air before it hits the ground, I can tell you what percentage it is. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like weird shit. And I'll get into my bag, you know, with breedings and shit, and just it's a different mode. You know, like when you're playing darts or pool, you know, when you hit like 5-6 shots in a row, like you really, you can't explain it, but you're dialed in, you know, and you're the same pool player an hour before that, but during that night, during those 2 hours you were there was a 15-20 minute period where you were just like on fucking fire, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the mode I like to get in. And you ain't always in that, but you know, you could look back and be like, yeah, you know, I was in my fucking bag. Because you really, it's a lot of data that me personally, if you would use my style of breeding and, you know, you were standing next to me doing this shit, it takes a whole lot of data. You got to remember a whole lot of shit.
That's right.
You got to remember how them pups came out and what they looked like and who got them and what this and the bitch, you know, her mama, daddy, this, that. Like, it's a whole lot of data that goes into it to be doing multiple litters, you know, in and out, you know, on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like we talk about weed and shit. You know, you're not a weed man if you just got weed for 2 weeks out of a year.
Right.
You feel? Yeah, you probably sold some weed, but you're not like the weed man. Like you don't sell weed. Like you had some weed and you had a lot of weed, but it was just 2 weeks. So if you just do a breeding or two, I wouldn't expect you to fall under, you know, any class that, you know, you wouldn't feel comfortable in. But you know, when you're doing some breeding and shit, you know, intentionally, you know, there's a method to that madness.
Right.
And knowing what you want and don't want, you know, just like, you know, being picky, you know, I like to I used to call my yard like a small boutique, you know, versus a Walmart type of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Walmart's cool. You know, they probably gonna make more money, you know,
Right.
but they you know, I just don't want to have, you know, I want to have a couple trinkets on that yard that, you know, I feel are different or special.
Mm-hmm. Selective breeding.
Well, what you mentioned about Carl Cruz and his wife and all that's, you know, on a smaller scale, that's what I did. Meaning I kept records of everything that I could think of.
Right.
Every litter, every dog. And because they did that, they knew the ins and outs of whatever their method was. That's how you can have the success like they did or someone else did. Because all that information means something. And you ain't gonna remember it. Believe me, you ain't gonna remember it. One of the reasons I got such a clear memory now is because I go back and refer back to my notes, and that keeps it fresh in my mind. So a lot of stuff is just in my head, and I can repeat it because I've done it over 40 years. But I do research, and I go back. Sometimes I write notes, and that's the importance of keeping all them records on your dogs. And again, all of them ain't gonna work out. So it seems like maybe you wasted time, but it's not. You can use that information for all kinds of stuff. It may be, and this is not true, but I'm just using this metaphorically. It could be, let's say, you keep track of your dogs. All the ones under 35 pounds didn't work out. All the ones over 35 pounds did. 35 pounds did. Now that's ridiculous, but that's what I'm saying. Certain records can help you with something like that. It could be something else. It could be a certain structure. The dogs have to be this way, and they have this type of athleticism. And this pup weighed this much when he was 6 weeks old and 6 months old and 8 months old, like that. When you do just weighing your dogs like that, after a while, you know what size your dogs are going to be when they're 8 weeks old. This one's going to be a 35 pounder. This one's going to be a 38. This one's going to be a 42, whatever it is. So maybe that information is insignificant, but the other stuff that you're taking, making records of can help you. It could be a certain something that causes a skin problem within your dogs, or small teeth, or big teeth. You can follow those patterns, and in the breeding, the 75-25 you were saying, and the 50-50s and all that, quarter this and that. If you do it long enough, you basically know what's going to work, and that's not impossible to do. You can tell by the breedings you make, the methods you use, where the dogs are placed in your pedigree, which ones you're going to have more success with. Could be half brother, half sister, could be quarter half, could be 75-25, whatever it is, 66-33. And that'll help you in the future making your decision on how you're going to breed your dogs. So I even used to write down how the roll went and what he did and what bad things I didn't like, or what signs they made, or this or that, just to have record of that particular dog. If I saw something negative later on, and I could go back to my notes and say, he did that when he was younger, so now it's shown full force as as an adult. It'll help you. That's why people keep stats, all these games, all these whatever medical shit, whatever, they keep records of all that so they can use it as a reference, and maybe it'll help you find a problem.
That's right. Just like a roadmap.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but like I said, if you like doing it, do it. It don't hurt, but it'll help you. You know?
That's right. Yeah, I see y'all talking about, you know, I don't know, man. I'm not big on a dog that's got 6, 7, 8 different names or kennels in a pedigree. You know, that I ain't looking for that.
Well, there you go. That's a standard.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, don't follow it. Believe me.
Ooh, yeah, that's
You're better off. You're better off.
Yeah.
There's a reason you feel that way too. It ain't just,
Absolutely.
whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them old dogs, like Boomerang or Zebo or Lear or whatever. There's a reason that they were able to do what they did in competition and were able to produce. There's certain patterns to their pedigree. That's where pedigree is important. The dog worked out. Well, why does it work?
Right.
Familiarize yourself with Boomerang's record, his history, his production, and his pedigree, and it'll tell you exactly why. And even the way he looks how he's bred, whether he's pistol or ironhead or beak or whatever, everybody, it don't matter. It's the same family of dogs.
That's right. The consistency means something. When I look at a dog, I want to look like how it's supposed to be bred.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, them dogs.
I mean, even your little pup, Buck, he looks like that stuff, right? The one you've been showing.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
sexy
if it's
red
yours.
dog.
There you go, that one. I mean, it don't surprise me the way he look. I don't look at him and go, well, he don't look like he's supposed to, or you know what I mean?
Nah, that's
the consistency is there.
Yeah, that's the formula right there. If you got it bred like that and you stay close to that, it should look like that, It shouldn't change. Although we can pull the Mayday phenotype out, we got the red ones, they take after that lady doll and everything. So
did you get like buckskin ones out of that? Have you got buckskin dogs out of that?
Oh yeah.
Or are they all red? Okay.
See,
are they built that way?
People got two different buckskins. You got that real blonde color,
right?
And then you got that like Mayday. I think we need to have a conversation about that, because they're getting these buckskin. When you say buckskin, half the people I talk to are talking about the blonde dogs.
The raven looking one, like how raven color. Raiden.
Which one's that?
That's the one the other one you post up.
Raiden. Oh, like Raiden, exactly.
Yeah, that little motherfucker raw right there. That shit raw right there.
That son of a bitch right there. Yes, exactly him. And then Sexy Red would be red nose. And then Mayday's color, they call that buckskin also. Like they call this buckskin. You feel me?
Yeah, to me it's red.
Okay, so you're going with red black mass then.
Yeah, but I'm colorblind, so I see colors different. So maybe it is buckskin. With the Jeep dogs, we had, just like you said, we had a blonde buckskin, and then something we would call dirty buckskin, so darker. You see darker hair, and they're kind of like not as dark as that black ring around their tail, like a lot of the Carver dogs have.
Right.
Lighter than that. It's buckskin, but it's not blonde. It's darker. So they could come out either way. Some will have a black mass, some have a widow's peak. But it's basically all buckskin. Just the widow's peak is darker. And you could get that with the red. It's a red dog with the widow's peak, and the widow's peak is darker red.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, definitely.
Vernon, the Mayday stuff is a type of dog. There's a lot of them, not all of them, but there's a lot of them that look like him or built like him, regardless of what size they are. Some are smaller. Some are that big too. Some are medium. But they have that build. I refereed a bunch of them in Mexico. Not a bunch of them. But one guy brought 8 of them on the same show. I refereed 5 of them. But all 8 of them, they all looked the same. And they were down for Mayday stuff. and they were built like that, legs like that kind of head, the floppy ears, like that. You have some differences because there's other dogs in there, but you'll still have that consistency. You'll still get some that, even my stuff, 38 years been around. There's some dogs that come out that look like my stuff in the back. Some look different. They might take more heavily on the Eli side, depending on how they're bred. But you still get that look of those dogs from 38 years ago. The build, the even the traits, you know, the intensity, the athleticism, you know, the high spirited. And unfortunately, someone can be destructive too. That's something that I never could get rid of it. I could lessen it, but totally get rid of it, I never could.
Yeah.
Vernon, you're right. With what you said, man. That's one of the reasons why I went there. I mean, the way he explains this, he ain't got but trust with two people, him and Jerry Clemens, when it comes to his pedigrees. So that was pretty profound right there, I thought. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I went there and got a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes Clemens don't get the credit he deserves. He produced a lot of good dogs.
Oh man. I was looking at some of Bob's old pairs, man. He bred the Clemens. Yeah.
In fact, he's the one who actually made the breeding that produced Bully Son and Eli Jr. and Brandy and
That's
Lupe.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Exactly. Spook was his bitch. It says Boudreaux. It was Boudreaux's dog. It's Boudreaux's breeding. There's no doubt that. But the one who actually made the breeding was him.
It was him. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, fellas. I'm just waiting for the tie to end now.
Oh, you good, man. Good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
So,
well, I hope he ain't like me. You might be there an hour or so.
Hey, man.
That's because I'm old, not because I'm good.
Yeah, that's him too. He old too.
Yeah.
Thank you about that.
He's an old pro then. He knows what he's doing.
I was looking for a comment. Somebody said they wouldn't breed no scatterbred dog. Listen, the scatterbred dogs ain't producing or whatever. You know, a lot of good crosses came from some pretty scatterbred ass shit, but it's just getting a lot of respect because they kind of refine the blood. And I mean, after a while, yeah, it's scatterbred, but after a while, when you breeding it enough times together and line breeding off of it, I mean, it kind of reinvents itself as its own line, kind of, you know. Like I said, you could get 10, I mean, you can get 6, 7 generations. Technically, you can probably get 7 generations in fucking 10 years with these dogs. You know, 6. You can get 6 generations in 10 years. So the evolution of the dogs is a lot faster than you know, humans, or, you know what I'm saying, it would take you know, probably 100 years to get, you know, 3 generations of humans, 4 generations or something, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than 10 years, you could get like 6 generations of dogs. So they're going to change a hell of a lot faster than you think, you know.
Yeah, it just with scatter breeding, even if it's good dogs, the gene pool is so wide. So you could get something from almost anywhere because there's no consistency. But the way you turn that into consistency is kind of like you said, you tighten up on it. So you taking the traits of that particular scatterbred dog. If he throws them, that particular dog, not necessarily what's behind him. And then you focus on that, tighten up on that, and hopefully you can keep repeating the same traits. So I see your point, and I always say this too: if you don't like scatterbred dog, don't breed them. You don't like a dog that has a crooked tail, don't breed it. or he got maybe you don't like bad-eared dog, don't breed them. Because you make the kind of dogs you want. And if that's your preference, that's your preference. There's some bloodline. I don't like the way them dogs look. They ugly as hell, man. But
so what's a scatterbred dog then? Let's go down that rabbit hole.
Okay. Anything
scatterbred dog.
In my opinion,
come on, Mike Dan.
In my opinion, scatterbred is more than 4 different bloodlines.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Because
which means you're covering. You have the grandparents are 4 different bloodlines. So the end result, the pup from those 4, pup from those grandparents.
Oh, God, got you.
It comes from
second generation. If it's 4 different bloodlines, you're scatterbred,
right? But it has to be. It has to be 4 different.
Right.
If they similar, it's not scatterbred. If there's commonality back there, it's not scatterbred. Because you can have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way outcrosses if there's commonality behind them. Say you take a Tombstone Red Baby to a Red Boy Jocko. The commonality is Daibo through Jocko and Tombstone. So that's not necessarily a scatterbred dog.
What about loose line breeding?
Yeah. Yep. Loose line breeding would be, let's say you have a stud dog and he is the top side is half brother, half sister off that male. The bottom side, that same male would be the grandfather or great grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
All the other stuff in there might not be related, but he's the common factor in that breeding. And you see Carver doing that a lot. You'll see it with he got Black Widow in there a lot, whether it's the Boleo stuff or he got Spike Black Widow, Daibo Black Widow, Kern's Lucky Black Widow, Zeke Black Widow. The commonality is Black Widow. And she's back there in all these dogs, but it's not real tight. Because there's the male she was bred to are all different, except for Spike and Daibo, they're father and son. But Zeke is not related to those males. Kern's Lucky is not related to those males. So where you might see Cracker in there, you might see Ironhead in there, you might see Boleo or Zeke in there or something like that. That's kind of the loose line breeding way of doing things. If you believe what he wrote, that's what he preferred. He tried inbreeding Daibo dog. He said it didn't work.
What he did in 10 years' time was just phenomenal to me.
Yeah. He just had that knack. Some people do. He knew what he was doing. Because if you take all that, well, this ain't really bred that way, that ain't really bred that way, and you listen to what he said, that didn't matter because those dogs, all the dogs he used are related in some way. And that's why I said, whether it's Pistol or Ironhead or Cracker, whatever dog it is, they all related.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be Pistol Junior, whatever it is. It could be Ironhead here. It could be Cracker there. He moved them around, whatever. They all related. So if he could do that, anybody could do that. That's why I never was with that. Maybe in the beginning where you say, you got the cake, but not the recipe. I don't care about no recipe. I really don't. If you know how to breed, doesn't matter. Because the feds are all fucked up anyways. They're all wrong according to everybody. They all lies and they all different, this and that. Name a dog, just about any dog, and somebody will tell you it ain't bred that way.
Well, I always say if you wasn't there, you don't know.
That's right. And you don't. So in that respect, who cares? If you know how to breed dogs and you're following traits, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
But if you keep track of your own shit and you're honest, then you know how your dogs are bred. Can't nobody tell you different.
What could you tell us about Maloney?
Yeah, he was one of those proteges of Tudor. Some of the famous ones, the Tudor proteges were proteges of Tudor were Jimmy Wimberly, Danny Burton, Don Mayfield, Don Maloney, Jim Usselton, guys like that. Okay. Heavy, not heavy, but basically Daibo dogs. And that's what Maloney dogs are. And the way they got their crosses in there is through the Tombstone Red Baby stuff.
Right.
Or sometimes they throw some Eli in there, or they throw some of that old Carver stuff, the Ed Crenshaw stuff. Or they did the same thing in Mexico. Took the Stu Fowler Red Baby, or Stu Fowler Red Lady, cross it with the Fontenot's Booger, which is more Daibo, and then throw the Eli in there, different Eli shit.
Right. Another one that it just does it to me, because I'm just doing research and shit. If I wasn't interested, I would never know this shit. But Bert Klaus, is he?
Yeah.
I mean, I see him in the back of a lot of dogs. A lot of these, like when we say Bolio Tombstone, when we say this stuff,
right?
We never say Klaus.
Right.
And his dogs to me are in there more than that damn Tombstone. A lot of dogs.
Yeah. Well, he kind of, he was a top dog man. He matched several dogs, had a lot of them. And he had his own family of dogs. But again, they were made up of different bloodlines. But predominantly, if you want to say one bloodline, they were, old family red nose.
Right.
And what they were used for, rather than and some people did have straight Klaus stuff, but the crosses they were used with, again, it worked with almost anything, and it could be because old family red nose is in almost anything anyway, so it just clicked with a lot of different stuff. That's what Red Baby is. She Bolio Klaus stuff. That's what the Kinzenbaugh stuff was, and a lot of different people used it, but as a cross. And there's probably somebody that kept it straight for a while. He was a great referee, big old booming voice. He had an amputated leg. He was about 10 feet tall, big old man.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, schoolboy. How you go about introducing the cross into your line?
Well, I spoke on that before. Some people are the mind, like you go three generations, then put a cross. You can do it almost any which way, but the way I did it was, if I saw something I liked and it was a cross different from my stuff, I just added it. I didn't wait till I lost something or till I needed to add something per se. And I did that too, but not across the board. That's why I kept Eli in my stuff for the mouth, basically. They'll give you other stuff too. They give you strength, and there's game ones too and all that. But if I wanted to add more mouth, or if I thought it could help me, I'd go to some Eli blood. The same could be said for Jocko. That was the main attribute that they had. That's why the Jocko Red Boy, when it clicked, because you got what's known as very game dogs with very hard mouth dogs. You put it together, you get the complete package. Now you got a bunch of game hard mouth dogs.
Right.
But I wasn't that. I didn't have a pattern to my outcrossing in that respect. I just something that I thought would go with mine. If I liked it, I added. Something I saw, and if it was a male, I definitely had to see him competed. I had to see him. That way I would know firsthand with my own two eyes what I was looking at, what I expected from that male. Right. And I generally, regardless of how I'm breeding, I had more success if I bred to dogs that had similar traits to mine.
Right.
So if my dogs, like a couple of their traits I tried to keep in there was speed and power. So if I'm gonna outcross to a dog, they've got to have speed and power. If it's slow and dumb like that, I ain't gonna breed to. And not just to outcross, even within my own dogs. If they scratch slow, I'm not gonna breed them. I don't care what. If they slow and don't have fast twitch movement and speed, the way they maneuver, I'm not. And if they don't have strength, I'm not gonna breed them.
That's what's up. Just was curious.
Yeah.
I heard
but the other method, the way people do that works too. You could go three times your own stuff and then throw a cross in there and like that.
Well, this is what I'm doing. I got my stuff real tight, so I'm doing 3 different variations of the same cross. So I got 2 females and a male from the cross I liked. Very good dog. And then so I bred a male into the females, into the 2 females, and then a female into the 2 males, or the male into the 2 females, and get 3 different variations of it to see what it turns out to. Them dogs have got me tired, man.
Yeah. And the main thing is, you're testing it or whatever. If you've never done it before, you're testing. That's what you have to do. You got to make the breeding and see the outcome. Keep track of them, as many of them as you can. And then you follow the ones that prove that they're the best individuals, and the ones also prove that they can produce.
Right.
Produce the traits that you like. You'll have more success using that method if you follow the dogs that have the traits you like. They come from the most successful litters. Meaning, rather than having just one dog turn out, even if he's a badass dog, where you have a bunch of them that are above average, and then you have 1 or 2 that are top dogs, and you only have maybe 1 or 2 that don't work out. You're better with that higher percentage litter, or breeding goes, than just the one freak of nature.
Right.
For sure, I agree.
Yeah.
With the transform of genetics, I would totally agree. Like, you'll have a better shot aiming for that than maybe you got a good one out of a litter that just one of them was good. If you got let's say a litter of 6, you got 5 good ones. Your genetic material is probably going to be right there somewhere. Yeah.
Because they all have similar traits, and they're all above board dogs. So it's showing you, just in that example, that these dogs have the capability of not only retaining the traits you want, but they're able to pass them on.
Right.
Because the parents pass them on to them.
That's what's up.
And if you do that generation after generation, you'll start having more dogs that work out, and then only some that don't, rather than the other way around. Even some of the great producers in history, generally, not all of them, but generally, they come from good litters. Or it's not just one dog. Honey Bunch is the exception, but I don't know if she had any litter mates or not. Red Boy may be another exception. I don't know if he had litter mates or not. But most of them, whether it's Jeep or Mayday or Jocko even, or Boomerang, they all had litter mates that were winners or champions or grand champions. Arch Litter, same thing. Champion Herd, Double Lot, Patty, 3-time winner, like that. Just a reflection of the ability for their ancestors to produce. So those dogs themselves were able to produce, and you just keep going forward with it like that.
Right. Wartown, what up, brother?
How you doing, brother? How everybody doing, man?
What's
happening?
Yeah, what up, though? Chilling, man. Just listening to y'all.
We just reminiscing, chopping up these dogs. Some of these old crosses and stuff. Yeah, what's your best cross that you coming with?
cross.
If you had to put together a gumbo, what would you put in the pot?
Well, I just did a cross that I really like. Well, my son did it, man, and I wasn't really paying attention to it, and I'm really liking these dogs, man. I had Eli, Mexican type Eli over some Gardner, and then my son put a Red Boy Jocko to it, man. With
wow.
Red Boy Jocko, and I'm really loving those dogs, man. I slept on them. Really, really awesome dogs, man.
Nice.
Yeah, even the Mexicans started using the whether you call it Red Boy Jocko or Mayday or Tombstone Buck, whatever, all that same stuff up here, you know, they started incorporating it with their dogs down south too. Just like we talk about Mexican Eli, and it's good stuff. It is. I've seen a bunch of it, and there's some of it in my stuff in the past, but they recognize the qualities of that stuff, so I don't know when they started incorporating, but they got it down there too. And even farther south, there's a lot of Invicto and Big John stuff in South America. They like that stuff down there.
Oh, they still holding on to some of that stuff.
Yeah, I forgot what country is that has it mostly. It ain't Peru. It might be Costa Rica or the DR, Dominican Republic. I forget, but it's down there.
VCA.
And I just know that from asking people. I just asked, you know, like what are they using down there
right now?
And then you have it.
I would like to breed. I got a Jeep Red Boy dog. Actually, I have Big Red's grandson. I was grandson of Big Red. I want to cross him into my Mayday stuff and see how it works.
Yeah. Well, even my stuff, you know, I mentioned my buddy got all my stuff. He added a skull Red Boy Jocko cross to his. That was one of his main stud dogs for years back in the day.
How did it turn out?
Good dog. The dog himself was a bad son bitch, man. He's a best in show winner. He threw several dogs, couple of champions. But it's just that I don't know how early they started the Eli Red Boy Jocko cross, but he was one of them. Dog named Clarence. He was right off a skull, and the mama was a Red Boy Jocko female. And it clicked. You almost can't go wrong with it, especially when you have that, whether it's Mexican Eli or Eli. Because again, you're just repeating the patterns that were done before. Any Eli, heavy Eli is heavy Dabo.
That's kind of like what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's my point.
Stuff to my McCollum stuff, but
yeah.
I've been following these tab dogs for a minute, and they I think it's gonna click. We shall see.
Yeah. Yeah, McCullum don't get talked about either. That dude was tops, man. I missed the opportunity to visit with him. It was right before he passed away, and he was too sick to come out to the show. It was a confirmation show in Texas that I was judging at. And he really wanted to come out, but he just too sick to do it. And then not too long after that, he passed away. But he had a lot of good dogs, a ton of them. Real active, real competitive, good people.
Yeah, I saw Vernon mention the Blankenship dogs. They had some good dogs back in the day, man, without question.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
nice.
you don't hear that name a lot either, but that's a name from back then too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was to that. Those old dogs was tough, man. I know personally. Back in the days, man, I stood across a couple of those dogs, man. They really close your mouth. They close their mouth, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
They not close their mouth.
Yeah. It ain't nothing new. People been chasing mouth, and if you think that back in the day all they cared about is gameness, that ain't true. The record don't show that. Them blackjack dogs we talk about, the Dival dog, Blackjack Jr., and the Zebo, whatever it is, Mexican Eli and all that, they chasing that mouth. It's important to them. And I did the same thing. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love gaming all day long, but you need a lot more than that to win.
That's right.
And if you want to get it quick, go get some meat life stuff. Don't matter what it is, as long as it's good, and the person you're getting from was good, you're gonna get something. Believe me.
Yeah. So a few months ago, we did a Mount Rushmore of Mayday. I'm glad we got Wartown in here because I know he bumped shoulders with a few of those dogs. Probably a dozen of them. Different Mayday dogs and stuff. So you kind of know them. We made this list based on basically the popularity, like what you see more in the pedigrees, not mostly based on performance, right? But who knows? Shit, we could probably do a performance one or this one. But this was the Mount Rushmore for Mayday that we came up with, and you let me know who should stay on there and who should get replaced by who. Just give me your opinion. Ain't no right or wrong answer. Also, Mike, Dan, you wasn't here either, and Melee, you wasn't here also, so you guys could definitely chime in.
I was here.
I wasn't on, but I was here.
I was here, but I'm gonna be honest. When I was on an extensive vacation, when them dogs were around, I didn't.
He was at art school.
See them dogs. And I hear a lot of talk about them nowadays, but I think that's because it was a newer thing. What, the late 90s or something? Mid 90s maybe?
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s, or even up to the mid 2000, 2005, like that.
Yeah, I was unfortunately on an extensive vacation, so
yeah,
I missed a lot of that.
Yeah.
This
is based on performance and production, I guess, huh?
No, I mean you could do both. You could do both, but this is basically off of just who we see, who making the most impact in the pedigrees. Like, if you add up all the good dogs, if Barracuda's in there, you got to give him a point. If Luke Kane's in there, give him a point. Just based on everything that we got available today, I think, of course, Macha got on there through Macho Buck, right? You know what I'm saying? Clyde got on there through Karada and some of the other dogs he was able to
Clyde was I'm surprised I have Clyde up there. He threw some really good dogs, man, but it wasn't that blood wasn't around that much. His bottom side, I believe it was hot stuff. It's on his bottom side.
Right.
Man,
exactly.
That was some good stuff, man. I seen dogs down off them dogs. It was like a hidden gem or something. He was a good producer, but I think Luke Kane. I think Hunt should be up there before I'll put any of those dogs up there. Clyde or Macha. I don't know,
but not with production though.
What
can't
Clyde produce a champion or champions?
Well, he is the grandfather of Karada.
I might be biased here, but you know what I was going to say too? Haunches got 4 champions, so he should really supposed to be a ROM.
But did that old Cyrus dog, where he come from Clyde?
Yep, well, off of Karada. So Clyde would be a great grandfather to Osiris.
Yeah,
and that litter right there
that
produced
was
3.
That was a good litter.
A grand champion and 2 champs. It's just hard not to put them up there, and the popularity contest too, though. Like you gotta, Macho Buck. I mean, there's probably more Macho Buck dogs. If anybody had to go to war with Frisco, shit, you better bring Macho Buck's ass, because you're gonna need you a fucking army. You feel me?
This is a nice list, though.
But my favorite, let's say I had to go get a breeding off of one of these or grab something. My favorite probably ain't even on here though. As far as the ones I would pick. You can't deny what Luke Kane's been able to do, and he had the chance to do it. Barracuda is then damn near. I mean, you take Macho Bear, Barracuda's in the back of his ass. And you can't say that he don't come with a big ass army.
Yeah.
Macho Bear comes with a huge army.
Macho Bear?
Know? Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as, I mean, you could say it's peddling or whatever. You know, we could go down those rabbit holes, but
just well, there has to be something to back it up. Everybody a peddler, or everybody sell dogs. I wouldn't necessarily call them a peddler, but somebody will. And I have, for example, I have yearbooks. This is just Sporting Dog Journal, so it's not a reflection on any other magazine or anybody else's opinion. But I have Sporting Dog Journal from 2002 to 2005, and these dogs they're filled with other stuff too. But there's enough of them where every couple of 3 pages you turn the page and it's dogs bred like this. And I think the evolution for the Mayday stuff was when they added buck to it. And then you have another several years of those dogs competing and winning. I mean, there's at least one of them was Dog of the Year. I don't know if it's one of these, but it's that stuff. Right. And then you have champion here, champion there, grand champion here, grand champion.
Well, it was like what y'all was talking about this evening. Every bloodline has had its zenith in time, right?
There you go.
Every one of them, man. Every one of them. And if you go back, I remember everybody wants some Eli Blood. I remember, I remember when Banjo and Biggie Red was out there. Everybody wanted that. There were certain dogs, man, and it was just that time. And I guess they were so close and prevalent at the time. You know what I mean?
That's what it is. You're exactly right.
Yeah. So every line has had its zenith, man. There's no question in that. No question. Right. So these dogs, when you're talking about in the late 90s, early 2000s, stuff like that, and that's what they're going to impact people's mindsets because of the timing. I remember when the Jeep Red Boy thing popped off, right? I mean, it popped off.
Yes, sir.
I always kind of stayed.
What year was that? What year was that about?
That's from late 80s until the late 90s. As far as Jeep himself being alive. And then you have, like you said, the Jeep Red Boy Cross, one of the ever. You have Jeep Rascal. Jeep Boomerang, Jeep Bodeo, like that. So it went for a long time. And right during that same period, that's when the Red Boy stuff, and then Red Boy Jocko, Chance Yellow and Grand Champion Rodney and Mayday, and Mayday has different stuff in them, but it's related to the stuff that was previously used too, with the Tombstone, Red Baby, even going way back. He's got the Boleo Corvino Eli cross back there too. So yeah, that was a point I was making earlier in the show earlier today, that you have several years where that dog and his immediate offspring are doing their thing.
That's right.
And then whoever decided to keep it going along them lines, they did. It just branches out like that. So what would be next? I don't even know, man. What's the next? I'll use your word. What's the next zenith? It could be that Eli Zebo Mayday buck stuff in Mexico. I don't know. It could be the Croata, whatever they do, Big John Invicto or whatever. Who knows, man?
I got a little taste of that Billy stuff. I got a quarter of it in one of my dogs. It ain't. I like.
There you go. He's good people, man. That guy, he's solid dude, man.
Yeah, I got a quarter of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zanetti.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's wrote several books too. In fact, when I write a book and he writes a book or he has previous book, we just trade books.
Mm-hmm.
When I got a new book coming out, he said, "Hey, send me your book. I'll send you one of mine." And him, same thing.
That's
I got a new book out there.
That's like old Carver stuff he had, right?
Man, I couldn't even tell you, honestly.
Buck could answer that better than anybody, probably. Buck incorporated that Croata blood in his dogs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just trusted the guy I got the dog from. I didn't really. I've never really paid attention to much. I know he came over here and spent a lot of money over here. Bought some good dogs.
I mean, they go back a long ways. They had a lot of the same stuff we had out here, whether it was Fox, Boomerang's brother, and Champion Snubby. They had the Woods also Negro, the Snooty stuff, old Eli stuff, going all over, not just Europe, but Eastern Europe and even Africa, South Africa, and then you have the stuff going to the Far East, you know, the Philippines and the Guam and even Singapore, Korea.
I see everybody making the Jeep dogs is everybody now. You see how everybody there's always be a wave now. Everybody running to get Jeep dogs again. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I hope they get some good ones because like I said, it depends on where you get them from.
That's right.
They just breeding.
Yeah. I would guess most of it. Well, just from what little I know, most of it coming from Tab and Chance Floyd, because I know Floyd was collected, so there's still some of that stuff out there. In fact, my buddy incorporated his stuff down in Mexico.
This is the thing they do, the frozen semen breeding, so they charge a lot for semen dogs, and then they breed them so young that I don't know what's going on. I don't know how they determine what's the good ones and what's the bad ones. So
they're breaking the rules, man.
I don't know how it's gonna be in the future.
That would be a situation, you know, where they have a lot invested, so they're just gonna breed it, you know. Because I'm sure, I'm sure it's expensive. But who knows how good it is?
Just the process of breeding it.
Exactly.
It's like $3,000.
Yeah.
I had a buddy just did it. I mean, and he paid like $1,300 just had the stuff shipped to him. You know?
Right.
So he had,
and then whatever vet bill and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, because he took her to have it surgically implanted right onto the eggs, you know?
Yeah, that's how you have to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's how I would do it if I was doing it. I wouldn't. You could learn how to do it, do your own AI, just, you know, like putting the semen in the bitch. But there's a process you have to go through, man. You got to put it in. You have to thaw it out the right temperature. You got to use egg whites and shit to whatever they do with it. I read a little bit about it. So the most cost effective and chance of success would be to take it into a vet, have them do the process, and that's going to cost.
Right.
And I don't know what it is for you guys out here, but just to take a dog to the vet here is $300. It's like a human, like a visit. You know,
I try to avoid them at all costs.
Yeah, that's before they touch you. Everything in California expensive. That's crazy. Don't even make no sense.
That vet is a hustle, man.
Y'all sell $20 Big Macs out there.
Hey, my I said this before. I don't know if I said it here. My grandson, he's handicapped, so his diet is limited. So he gets a 20-piece chicken nugget, large fry, a Coke, and then 2 side orders of large fries is $30 at McDonald's. Freaking McDonald's, dude.
Right. I saw it on the news.
Yeah. And then at Wendy's, what they do at Wendy's is they, like, let's say a single hamburger costs $3, right? Or $4, whatever it is. After 6 o'clock, it's $6.
What?
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
Really.
They got evening tax, huh?
Evening tax. Yeah, like that. That's what it would be called, I guess. Yeah. Evening tax. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then like the national, what's the national, like 8 cents on the dollar, the tax?
Yeah.
Yeah, in California is 9. Your house, wherever you live, if it's $500,000 house, which is that's a big old house, probably wherever everybody lives, right? That's going to be $2 million here.
Dang.
Yeah, it's expensive down there for sure.
Yeah, it is, man. How much is your gas where you guys at?
About $4.50.
Okay. Ours about $5.50.
Yeah, I'm in New York. Yeah. We still in the 3s. Woo.
Yeah. See?
We ain't seen no 3s in years.
Yeah, Buck said about $4.50. I thought he was about to say about 3 something. Yeah.
Hell no, not in Washington, not here. We high.
Yeah, and see right now that shit definitely like 340.
We're not California high, but we high.
Yeah, it's still high.
Damn, $15 from McDonald's. Jesus,
that's crazy.
$30
like that around here.
No, it ain't. No. Same company, same food is cheaper everywhere else.
And you got the $5 deals coming back now. Shit, they caught a lot of hell for that, man. A lot of publicity behind that stuff.
Yeah. And then if they keep the price the same, they just make the unit smaller. so hamburger used to be this big, same price is half the size. They make the bun like that and the meat smaller.
That's right.
Burger King, it ain't no king no more. It's more like a gesture or gesture. It's a duke. It ain't.
Buck, how the man coming? How the man coming along, man?
Good question.
Oh man, I got some nice shots, man. Real nice.
Yeah.
I got to convert the rest of it. You got to put it in that CMYK. It's 2 different color schemes. So basically, I got to switch everything, all the other stuff over. But I just went ahead in the CMYK instead of the GBR. So once I switch all those over, because I don't want to just drag them on there. I want to make them in that color scheme just in case it switches when I just slap it over there like that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, man, I mean, even flipping through my old files that I already had, like, it's loaded. My motherfucker's loaded.
I'm looking forward to it. I wish much success for, and I ain't talking about just for you. I'm talking about the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We all need something else to look at and read and, talk about. And, I mean, I'm looking at it from a selfish aspect. I wanted to work out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some positive stuff, man.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. Yeah, it's part of the history. Somebody got to do it.
Definitely got to be in that mode. So, like I tell myself now, it's like, okay, let me get in magazine mode. Let me clean my desk off. You got to get in that mode. It's easier. I mean, some people maybe could just do the shit, nonstop, but
now
I got to let my creative kind of flow,
They can. I tell you from experience, man, it ain't easy. We talked about it before. It ain't. That's why some authors take them 10 years to write a book, bestseller, yeah, but it still took them 10 fucking years to write it.
Right.
And I'm talking about books like Frankenstein or or Maltese Falcon, or, you know, famous book, Godfather, like that. 2-3 years at least. There's a lot to it, and it's one thing to have thoughts in your head, but you got to put them down on, you know, on paper and make it come out right, sound right, look right. And even with all the new technology, everything got to be put together right. The font, the color, if you don't know what you're doing, and if you're doing it as you go, it's going to take a little longer. So it ain't easy, man. It's not.
I appreciate
the second
y'all,
one
Alex.
probably be a lot easier for sure.
There's a lot of good brothers in these chats, man. That ain't all up in their feelings and all that. It's a lot of good people in here, man. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep coming back. It'd be some buffoonery every now and then. I'm old and tired, so I could sit here and look at it and laugh, you know, because I just ain't never seen so many people in their feelings, grown men. But it's good people in here, man. You know.
Yeah.
And
I like seeing the same, you know, you see return, the same people coming back, and not just here, but they'll be on mine, they'll be on 7A, they'll be on NWA. It just, they loyal, and they love the breed, or just dogs in general. So you see them all over the place. That's what I've been noticing.
NWA. I give him the hardest working man of the month this month. He been working hard.
Yeah. You see, I'll say this. I'll give a plug to somebody. I see Dickie Foster everywhere, man. That guy is loyal, and he's good people, man. Yeah, along with, I can't see the chat, but I'm sure I would recognize a lot of the names in there because, like I said, they loyal.
Well, it's like Vernon. I don't know him, but I could tell he's been around a while through his conversation.
Yeah, Vernon too.
It makes a lot of sense, man. You know, he brought up them Blankenship dogs. You know,
there you go.
You know who knows what, man. You can't hide behind it. That's for sure. You can't perpetrate.
True.
I mean, every now
even
and
then, even Mike Dan. I see Mike Dan too all over the place, man. He's good people too. Yeah, you're right.
You get a parrot or two here and there. You know, been listening to this stuff for a while or reading some books, and they can parrot some stuff, but it eventually comes through because you got to work with. You're gonna show up sooner or later.
Just letting you know who let them bulldogs, man.
That's right. That's right.
This thing is these dogs are a disease, man.
Oh man, oh man.
The sickness.
Dogs, man.
It's a sickness, man.
I put more work into preparing my dog's meal than I do my own.
Shit, I take care of them better than I take care of myself, man.
Hey, man, that's almost standard. It's almost the law. That's the way it got to be.
I was going to say that earlier, that if your wife, your old lady, your girl, your significant other, if she ain't never hit you with, like, you love them dogs more than you love her, if she ain't never hit you with that shit, then you're doing something wrong, man.
Yeah, you ain't doing it right.
She said you rub on that dog more than you rub on me.
Because I'm gonna be completely honest. When we was in New Jersey, I was trying to get down here bad as hell. Well, anywhere down south, really, for the dogs. And she ain't want to go nowhere because her family up there. And long story short, she was the one on it like that. Like, now you love them too much. Like, we gotta go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta grab too much.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I remember my ex-wife. Her favorite line was, "I know already. That's a special breeding, right? You got to be. That's another special breeding, right?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta keep these. This is special.
That's right.
All that.
She always tell me that, like, oh, you spend more time with them. Oh, they can't do for themselves though. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. They can't take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know? See, I've been with mine since I was basically a kid. So,
that's good.
When I first got into these dogs, she was kind of right there. She was right. She was right there. you know. So she ain't never really questioned me about them, you know. I think she already knows what's up with them dogs, you know, when it comes to me. So she's cool though. She don't really get into them like that. She will, but you know, some people just got like they woman is like their kennel partner. You know what I'm saying? She's far from that. That's like my thing, and then she has her thing. You know what I'm saying? She usually don't fuck with me when it comes to the dogs. But you know, she been around.
Yeah, you get all kinds. Mine is kind of like yours, Buck. She honestly, she caters to me when I do this shit. You know, she knows this is what I do, this is what I love, and she kind of been that way all through our life. And you go through the whole thing. You have arguments, you have this and that, and you love me, you love the dog more than me, and all that shit, all that. What about the kids and all? You get past it, you deal with it, and she's the one that makes sure I got everything set. And she's not involved that way either. Like she's a mom. She got too much shit to do. But when it comes to this, she knows it's important.
I mean, I would like that. I mean, that, you know, but I guess it is. Yeah. I mean, it's never a bad moment. Like if she just wants to come back there and hang out, or you know, it's never a bad moment. It's not like I'm waiting on her to leave so I can get back in my element or something, you know. But you know how it is. They got their own thing. I think she gives me, that's my space or something.
Yeah.
It's like my little office, like right now. The house is full, but they don't fuck. I mean, the little guy, he'll come right in here, you know.
Yeah.
But everybody else kind of knows, you know, leave dad alone, you know, he whatever, you know.
Yeah, you're doing your thing.
Right.
You supporting the family, and it's not unusual either. You know, we were talking about Heinzel earlier. That's kind of how his wife was. You never really saw her, and more so when he got older. She'd go to some stuff when they were younger. And Tudor's wife was really involved in the dogs, but Heinzel's wife wasn't. Jack Kelly's wife really wasn't. She helped him. She did what she did and all that, but she wasn't a dog woman per se. That's not unusual, because, you know, like you said, that's our thing. We may need some help sometime. We got to do this and that, but they not. The only way my wife would get involved is because they're babies. She looks at them like babies, so they need taken care of when I'm at work or when I'm doing something or it's sick or whatever. So she's and it don't matter what kind of animal it is, she'll take care of it. But as far as being in, you know, partner, like you said, like, no, she ain't. And a lot of them ain't that way. They let the guy do their thing and they support them, but that's it. They ain't involved that way.
School, I got a question for you. Historically speaking, what's the best father and son team you ever seen or you know of?
Yeah, I'll name a couple because they both top notch. The Divines, Don Divine and David Divine.
Yeah.
And then Les and Rick Fowler.
Okay. Yeah.
Meaning they were involved. Meaning the dad did his thing, the son right there with him, and then when the parent got older, the father got older, the son took over.
They had the green dog, didn't they?
Yeah, they bought him for not specifically for that show for Zeeble, but they're the ones who owned him when he went into Zeeble.
Yeah,
he was owned by Champion Greaser.
Yeah,
he was originally owned by what's his name? Eubanks, David Eubanks. He won 4 with him, and then he sold them to the Fowlers, and it was actually going to be Greaser going into Hudson's Tex off of Bully Sun and Arch Missy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tex got sick, and then David Adams took over with like 3 weeks to go. And then he beat Greaser. And he was kind of work a little bit, walking him and all that stuff, Zeeble, because there was a big show, and this is all kind of related. There was a big show in Mexico that didn't come off. In that show, Zeeble would have went into Boomerang.
Mm.
but that fell out. And since he was hand walking them, Hudson, who was friends with Adams, asked Adams if he would put Zebo in there. Zebo was actually 3.5 pounds light, and Greaser was a 4-time winner, and Zebo beat him in 1:57, almost 2 hours.
Listen, man, any dog that's staying with Zebo for 1:57 minutes is a hell of a dog.
Hell of a dog, and he didn't quit. He didn't quit either.
But Zebo gave up weight though, so he wasn't punching like he usually probably punched.
Right.
But he did punch him. You know, at the end of the fight, the way it was described is he flipped Greaser on his back, and it looked like somebody hit him with a shotgun in his chest.
Damn. Are we still on father and son teams?
Yeah.
All right.
And then the Divines, of course, they had Cassius Clay and Patty and Champion Bruce and a lot of good dogs. But that's what happened. The kid dedicated like that, and even Captain America and his son Gypsy.
Yeah, I know them personally. Yeah, I know them personally.
Yeah. If you look at a lot of the reports, you'll see the son conditioning and handling a dog. You'll say Gypsy, or they'll say David Divine, like that. Yeah. You got one, Buck?
It's going to be controversial.
Okay.
This one, it's going to be real controversial. But here we go.
I'm lost.
Oh man, I didn't expect that one, man.
What's happening? What's happening? Ain't no smoke today. What? What you want me to ring the bell now or what?
Respect the bell. Respect the bell.
Hey, who got something to say about this young man? Huh?
I'm cool.
Hey,
forgive my ignorance. I don't know who it is.
That's
better than JJ Redick.
That's Bronny.
That who?
Bronny James' son.
Oh shit! Is it?
I don't know nothing about him. I just know him when I seen him.
And who wants to argue he's going to be a better player than JJ Redick?
Yeah, they drafted him today in Lakers.
Hey, who's his wife he got? Is it Scottie Pippen's wife or something? Who is it?
I heard some
what?
stuff.
Yeah, he got somebody's ex, Scottie Pippen or somebody. I heard.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. Who you talking about, Mike? Dan?
I'm talking about Bronny.
Nah, that's Michael Jordan's son got.
Oh, is it Michael Jordan's son? Okay.
Nah, I seen something that said she was loving Bronny too.
Man, I
thought I saw something on
that
it,
boy
man.
young as hell, man.
For the whole
Wouldn't she be like a cougar or something? Or?
Yeah,
that boy young.
I ain't mad at either one of them. I had a cougar or two of my youngs.
She more than a cougar. She a saber-toothed tiger.
I was about to say she about to
Nothing wrong with that. Them old. I'll say this: them older ladies are grateful.
Oh man!
Again, with a young stud, they grateful.
They grateful.
He said they grateful,
huh?
Yes, sir. Hey, now I'm gonna make an argument. Bronny James is gonna be better than JJ Redick. A lot of people say he doesn't deserve to be in the NBA. I don't know, man. I think he has some skill. He might not be as big as a lot of guys are, but he's very explosive. He can shoot the ball. To tell you the truth, I think he can shoot the ball now better than his dad can shoot, and probably his first 5 years in the league. I think Bronny James can shoot the ball, just straight up shoot the ball. Now I don't know how he's gonna do with these big 6'6" guards sticking them in. I don't know how he's gonna do against all of that. But I think he definitely just wasn't playing video games all day. I think he was training and getting his man body together to be able to go out there and bang with those dudes.
Well, he's got to have some skill.
Hey, Vernon, you know what I used to say about them big girls? Do they pay like they weigh? That's all I wanted to know. Do they pay like they weigh? Most people say big girls look. need love too. I say, do they pay like they weigh?
Yeah. If they do, you'll be a rich man.
Come on.
Yeah, why not?
I ain't mad at them.
Nope.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the invite, Buck.
Oh yeah, man. Salute to you for pulling up.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it. You know, we ain't gonna walk them all night. You know, we ain't gonna walk the dogs all night, but you know, we get up on here and splash with everybody. Hey, I'm gonna watch this joint again because I know there's a bunch of knowledge I could retain if I watch it again. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it was a success. Appreciate everybody for pulling up.
Yeah. Arrowhead, I see you, man. You fortunate. You got the whole family involved in the dogs.
Yo, Buck, you
Arrowhead.
See what's up with that membership?
Oh yeah, I never did. That's crazy, man.
I was thinking if you post that link on your community page where you post the dogs on.
Right.
See if I can.
Oh, you think it'll work over there?
I mean, I was just thinking. You feel me?
Yeah,
once you post it in the chat, I still can't even click on it. It go right to that community page, and not all I see is the dogs. You get what I mean?
Oh, I get you. Let me see. I'm gonna definitely put it in that community and see if it works.
Are you using an iPhone?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I was just a member though. You know what I mean? So maybe I had I think what is it? 30 days? I had to upgrade it or do a renew.
Oh, the membership.
I got my card through YouTube, I think, but I couldn't set it up initially because the iPhone won't let you. The join button won't show up, so I had to get on my laptop to do it.
Yeah, I was on there.
Or Buck can send you the link.
Yeah, he put in the chat a couple days ago. That shit was straight going to community page. I said he done blocked my shit. Hey.
What did I say?
Yeah,
I just put it in.
I'm like, damn. Damn, he come with
I didn't know I made you mad. Shit.
Hey, I
put it in the.
Appreciate the chat. The chat was very involved tonight. That was good looking out.
So good talking
in the community, and I put it in the backstage.
Okay,
in the community. Yes, sir.
All right, brothers. Appreciate it.
We got to chop it up about some pounds. Oh yeah, salute. Yeah. I'm gonna wrap it up. Put the ashtrays up. Get all the water bottle. The water bottle was about to join. You got to close down.
Yeah. I go back and listen to it too, but when it's me talking, I fast forward. I want to hear everybody else talk. Get tired of hearing myself.
That's what we want to hear. That's what I did. The past history. A lot of those streams because I be going back and listening, and those be the ones I really be on. I mean, we could talk about the new stuff and everything, but a lot of time that old history, that's what's going to get lost. There's a lot of these dog men, just like Carl Cruz. I was going to try to get an interview with him, and then I had to do my little situation, and then boom, he passed. So he
I missed a few like that too
to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. I missed some too. Even like Randy McCollum, I had a good conversation with him, but he was
right.
He had cancer, then he passed away after that. I had all kinds of questions.
You got a lot of good interviews. Good interviews.
Yeah. I got some more coming up. They just, I just reach out to these people. Some of them won't do it. That's okay. I understand. But some will. And then I have some help too. Some people say, you got to get on there. It's part of history and people need to hear your story and stuff. Like Gene Matson, Leander Daigle, Bob Finley, LA Dream Team, West Coast Combine. I try and get everybody, man. Don't matter what ethnicity or what faith or what. If you're a dog, man, I'm gonna try and reach out if I can.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Keep it going. You got that good, consistent channel, you know.
Yeah. Thank you.
That good, consistent channel, man. That's good. Keeping it going. What you got? What you got in the oven, Wartown?
I just been sitting back, man. I got a little. I got a. I'll send you a breeding. I got some Mayday hardcore breeding coming up. I got a.
Okay.
I'm about to breed some of my old Virgil stuff, my old Jeep Rascal Virgil stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
But yeah, I got
which Virgil? Which Virgil is that?
Grand Champion Virgil.
Which one?
Gambler's Virgil.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, I even judged some offspring of his at a confirmation show. One of them I gave best in show. That was a beautiful dog. Some bitch was tight. It looked like a bulldog. He acted like a bulldog too, and he wasn't like crazy and shit. Just real serious type.
I had a daughter of his, man, and she was the best producing dog I ever had. She a POR, man. Every time I put a lot of dogs of hers in the wrong hands, but every time I have a brother, man, she produced a lot of winners in every litter. I mean, I done had litters of the whole. I had litters of 4. Like she had a litter of 4. Everybody go. Everybody go hunt. I mean, she just was a real high caliber dog. And then, like you said, when they put like that litter, I told you all of them went to the dance. She produced a lot of good dogs on that. And one of her 2-time winning sons went on to produce his first litter. He produced the champion and a few 2-time winners and 1-time winners. And
there you go.
And actually, and that was like 20 years ago. But I got he produced a 4-time winner, and I got a double-bred son of him still around. He's about 7 to 8 years old.
Nice. Yeah, my friend used that stuff too. He liked it,
man. I had so many. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's that Jeep Rascal cross right there, man. Heavy Rascal, Jeep Rascal. That's the best dogs I ever had. I mean, even when I had the Mayday dogs, the only reason I got the Mayday dogs is because I was right across the street from Big Apple Kennels, man. But actually, all the guys that had those kind of dogs, they was using some of my dogs. I'm the only one, man. They would respect me because I was the only one that was standing toe to toe with those dogs when they was crushing everybody. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it to my dogs, man. Yeah. I mean, Gator Boys, Apple Kennels, none of them could come over there. After a while, they was like, you know what? Give me some of them dogs. They start taking them out with me.
Yeah. Well, some of them dogs could crush shit too, man. They were rough as hell.
Man, them dogs was, man, the top to the top, man. I lost a lot of them, man. But yeah, they would do some really good dogs, man. Really, really good dogs. I love them. I love that Rascal cross, man. That's my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
That's the Jeep Rascal. I love them.
They're very popular. Very popular. You got.
I wanted that's what I sent you the pedigree of that big red Grants that I got up. If he turns out like I like him, I'm gonna incorporate him into that version stuff.
Cool. I'll check it out. Yeah. Check it out. Yeah. He was just a consistent producer. A lot of good dogs off of him in that blood. Yeah. And there ain't a whole lot of it. You know, I never bred a whole lot of it, but it's still like I said, my protege, quote unquote, he just run with it, man. They're real good with it.
Yeah. I know they did a breeding with them. I think they got 3 females out the litter, no males. And I got one of the daughters of them.
Nice.
I know everybody else keeping theirs and keeping. I don't even hear nothing about them. They got them. I ain't never hear nothing about them. They keep theirs tight lipped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You ain't got you don't got no shows coming up, Schoolboy, that you're gonna be at?
No, we do one every year in Southern California, usually around April, May, like that. But I haven't been traveling much as I used to. I don't have time and a lot of issues and shit. But I try and make that one every year. It's in Southern California.
Okay.
But I used to go all over the place, different countries too, man. I loved it. You know, that's part of it's fun too. Judging show, judging weight pool, judging even all breed shows. I've been involved in them. I judge the pit bulls, and they have other judges for different breeds. You know, Jack Russell, German Shepherd, Mastiff, Bullies. They do it up in Mexico too, man. They have big old shows. Thousands of people go. Sometimes their weight pool, they'll start in the morning and don't finish till the next day. They run all night with their weight pool. Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do wall climb at your show?
At mine?
Yeah.
No, we just do confirmation. No sport. Yeah. But in Mexico, all them sport real heavy into it. You won't go to a confirmation show that don't have sports.
I wonder what the dimensions on that board, you know. It probably shouldn't be,
think,
you know.
It's got to be 16, 20 feet tall by about 6 feet wide, something like that.
I got it. How would you mimic that? I taught my dogs how to run a gate. But how would I was trying to figure out how I would mimic that wall.
Well, you have to get them used to chasing some kind of bait, you know, something they put in their mouth.
Yeah, you know what I use? I use a squirrel tail and I put it up in there, like on a gate, and I let them start running up the gate.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I would sit them on the ground and have them run up something like you're saying, but I would actually scratch them to it, so they get used to where you're holding them and then you cut them loose, and then they go right for the bait.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
exactly what I do.
Yeah, you just raise it up little bit, and I think the record's somewhere around, what is it, like 15 feet or something?
I don't know.
Something like that. Well, down there, they use the metric system, so it's meters. Yeah.
Actually,
okay. Yeah.
I had a dog that trained me to do it because one day I had my dog loose and she seen a squirrel and the squirrel ran up in the tree and she ran up in the tree too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how my daughter used to do that. She did that with a couple of dogs. She taught them how to chase squirrels up trees because we lived. We're surrounded by big old tons of acres of almond trees. So she'd get out there in the field. Big Red was one of them, and then his son, Mr. Riley, they chased squirrels up trees, climb trees and shit. I did kind of a sports video. If you go to my channel, it's on. I forget what it's called, but it might be the one of how to test your keep or something, test your conditioning or something. But I kind of went through the process, how I learned how to weight pool dogs, and then some of the things about wall climbing, like that. It's fun. Some of them people, they don't even hold their dog. It's all voice and hand commands. So they just set the dog up, give it a command, and it either pulls or jumps on the wall climb. They're loose. The fucking dogs are loose. They ain't even on a lead or nothing. And with the sports, you can have, at least in other countries, but I don't know how it is in the US, but the sports, any breed of dog could do it. So in Mexico, the treadmill race, they had pit bulls, they had greyhounds, they had German shepherds, had Jack Russells. The weight pool, they had mostly pit bulls. There was one, I think a Rottweiler, and they had some staffies, little bull staffs, doing the weight pool. Some of them dogs can pull some weight, man. They'll pull 8,000 or 9,000 pounds.
Yeah, man. I remember reading this. I remember my friend had a dog off of, I think it was he had a dog of Debo's champion Blackie. It was a little dog, and he was a real little dog. He had like a record for pulling weight, and he was pulling like one time they took him I think they took him and weight pulled him, and then they matched him like a day or two later. And he,
yeah.
Debo champion Blackie. I still remember that dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they do. They're amazing, man. They do all kinds of shit. I've judged, confirmation. I've judged champions, grand champions that made champion, grand champion in the confirmation show too. So they got both titles: pit champion, pit grand champion, and show champion and grand champion too. Different dogs.
Dual champions, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. You got sleep, man.
They getting sleepy. They getting sleepy.
Hey, that smoking they was talking about, huh?
No, we here.
We
get off here, I'm still gonna be bulldogging, man.
Yeah, I got this dope ass interview I did with the Mink Man. I'm about to let him check it out before I drop it. But I
there you go.
He's gonna enjoy that, man. He got a super big following. He got
what y'all think about this law? Like everybody be talking about it's conflicting. Everybody be talking about the when they go to Mexico, the shows be like Mexico, they do whatever they do is the dogs are so par or half fast or whatever. But as soon as somebody like the Mexicans get something going on, everybody run to it. Like first they talking about the Mexican Eli now, and in a minute they're gonna be talking about Mexican Red Boy. Because I see everybody with Texas and they're gonna be talking about Mexican Red Boy in a minute.
Yeah. Well, just like here, some of them guys, I'll be honest, they incorporated. They don't say what it is, But you could tell that got some Mayday in it, man. That got some Red Boy in it, like that. And like I said, even back in the day, I seen some that was that stuff competing, and I saw it was that we talked about it, but Black, he had some of that Carrata blood in him. I seen him win his third. But yeah, they might be doing that. Mexican Red Boy, Mexican Mayday.
Yeah, because they got I see they got Boomer blood, but they got theirs like through that Judah Rom dog and the Pecos blood. Champion Pecos or Pecos, what it's called?
Pecos.
Yeah.
Pecos.
Yeah. I see everybody. I see that's the red. That's the Red Boy choice now. I see.
Okay. Yeah. Depends on who gets it, where they get it from.
Mexico.
Yeah. Because they just known for checking their stuff good. That's why people like it. They keep it a certain way.
Keep it refined.
They'll test it. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Even back then, you could go down there. If let's say you went to a convention or something, you could buy the dog right there, or a brother to it or something. Not that expensive.
Enlighten me, man. I only know like one person like in the United States, like over here that you really could get stew flower blood for. Why is it so prevalent in Mexico? The stew flower blood.
Because that's the thing. The Mexican stuff, it wasn't a big variety like here. You won't. You might see some Zebo incorporated, but most of it is heavy Eli, Bully Son, Eli Jr., Eli like that, Boudreaux. and then you had the Fontenot's Booger stuff, the Stu Fowler Red Lady, and that was about it. And Goras, the Bolillo stuff.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of variety. So they kind of kept it pure as much as they could. Now they're starting to add different stuff.
And of course the Ed Crenshaw stuff.
That's the Stu Fowler Red Lady stuff. That's the Ed Crenshaw stuff. So they mostly kept it that way. And
stuff, huh?
Yeah, and if they did add something else from up here for a long time, it was mostly Boudreaux stuff, more Boudreaux. The Badger, the Reno Skull, Maverick, like that. But now, like you said, they're putting Red Boy, Mayday, Red Boy Jocko, maybe some other stuff. I don't know. But they didn't have like they didn't have like Turtle Buster, or maybe a little bit here, but not predominant. They didn't have like Turtle Buster or some of the other stuff, the Tombstone Red Baby. They didn't have like even the Boomerang stuff. Not really. They pretty much kept to what they had, and it's because they would get whatever was along the border there. They didn't come up into the United States too much. So the border from California all the way to Louisiana is pretty much the dogs they got. A lot of dogs from Texas, Louisiana, California, Arizona, New Mexico. I might do some interviews with them. I'll have to, I don't know, maybe I'll translate them or something, or but there's
I got a
some
dog.
of them old guys I could do.
I got a dog. You ever heard of this dog? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Chiflado?
Yeah, Chiflado.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chiflado and Tatis.
Yeah, I got a dog that got.
Is it?
They got
Is it the Black Rock stuff?
Yeah, off Downlift Day Nitro dog. I had a little off of one of their champions. They had a champion fat boy off of Nitro. I had a red boy little gator dog. I had a little off those dogs.
Yeah,
they turned out to be really good. Matter of fact, I got grandkids of those dogs now, man. They really turned out to be really good dogs.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. The little gator stuff, it's from Baja.
Yeah.
And then you have the Black Rock stuff. It's Tatis Chiflado. That's the stuff I like. He got other stuff in there. He got some, that Champion Little Red was different. But the Tatis Chiflado, that stuff, I like that.
Yeah, I had like the Champion Little Red. I had like just the pure Chiflado stuff. Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah. I like that better.
I had it on top of my little Gator Red Boy dog.
Yeah.
I had a whole litter of them. I mean, they was pretty good.
Was the little Gator Red Boy? Was it Red Boy from Bean?
No, it was Red Boy from the old Red Boy stuff, like the Robinson stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
That old stuff like that.
Yeah, Triple I Red and all that.
Yeah, it's all like the old Robinson stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Inbred, bred to the little gator stuff, top and bottom, and then bred them together. Then I take
the one I seen was, in fact, it had a little bit of my stuff in it, but it was mostly the Bean, which is heavy Red Boy, and then bred to the little gator stuff. Champion Chamuco and.
Don't worry. If all goes well, it's gonna be bred to your stuff again.
Yeah. It was a bad dog, man. That dog was badass.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like those dogs. The ones that turned out, it was good.
Yeah, that stuff heavy over on this side, man. They got the little gator with the Chinaman and the Frisco and some, like I said, a little bit of Red Boy and
that. You know what's so funny? That's what I did after I went to this after I went from the little gator to Red Boy little gator to the Chiflado. I went and that's what I did. I bred one of those to a guard dog. It turned out really nice. Actually, once I did that, it like it panned out. It was better.
Yeah. They saturated with a lot of that stuff. If you went down there, years ago, whatever show it was, it's going to have some little gator in it. Somebody going to have it, or the Chinaman or whatever. Rancherita Kennels had it. Vince, of course, Benny. A lot of them guys, Eddie and BMW and Lionel. There's a lot of guys that got that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of it, but I like it through certain dogs. I've noticed those dogs are they're really impressive and they'll fool you.
Yeah.
You gotta watch those dogs.
Yeah.
They got a lot of ability, and they tend to fool.
Yeah, that Angel, Black Angel, Negrita, Chido, Rancherita Kennels, Jerry Wiseman. I told him a bitch named Bugsy off of Champion Ninja and Miss Rowdy. Miss Rowdy was Big Red's sister, and they bred her to Little Gator and got the hell is his name? Champion Cyclone, and Burrito was a 2-time winner.
I always see that in there, and I always see the Big Red in them dogs, and I see him in Tite too.
Yeah, he's in Tite back there. Yeah, a little bit here and there everywhere. I think dogs are different states.
That Game Jane dog or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Dr. What was his name? Cristiani.
Yeah. I always seen those dogs. I remember I always defended a Big Red dog. My friend had bred a Midnight Cowboy dog to him, and when he was over here, and he would do like grand champions and like an RO1 female that he sent back to Texas.
Yeah. It had even J-Bo, he's got a channel too. He's seen some of my stuff, some Big Red stuff. Anyway, one was mine at Kirby back in Louisiana, and then he's seen some other ones, Machiavelli, and it got around a little bit.
My shit through the teeth and shit.
Yeah.
I had messaged you a couple months ago and told you that schoolboy.
Did you? That you?
It's two the Tite breed, and it's two of them dogs. Two Big Red, male and a female.
All right. Yeah. He was an 8-time winner.
Oh.
Tite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had his daughter.
Okay. Cool.
My people was up top got a daughter. Yeah. Got a daughter down off him. That's how I got my shit basically.
Was it Slick that had some of that stuff too?
Huh?
Who was talking about Slick earlier?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's who left.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
What's your Tite stuff got come down off? Tite bred to what?
One of his daughters, Hoochie Mama.
Oh, the Red Boy dog.
Yeah.
I had the Little May sister. That's the one I had.
Oh, yeah.
I said ITE, at the bottom side, right? The Red Boy, double red inbred boomer dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said the Little May. And her, matter of fact, I know the one you told me. You probably got one of the black and white bitch. Up top over here, did they brought it to NASCAR, didn't they?
Yeah, they definitely bred her to her, but my man that got her.
She produced like a champion.
Yeah, my man. Yeah. My man got that. Yeah.
Well, that's some of that boomer stuff in Mexico, right?
No, that's the pit 78 res boomer.
Oh, not Pitt Island.
Yeah, Pit Island. Yeah, the same thing.
Okay, yeah, I think some of that is in Mexico too.
Yeah. That Pecos blood is that's that boomer blood.
Oh, okay, Pecos. Yeah.
Pecos,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
that boomer blood. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I had a little message to them dogs. That was some good dogs. I should have never. The breeder called me back after the dog was like 15 or 16 months. He called me and he had sold all his dogs and asked me to sell him the dog back, man. I didn't really want to, but he was like, man, come on, man, please sell me the dog back. I was like, man, if I sell you this dog back when you breed it, let me get a puppy. Man, as soon as I sold the dog back, he went and sold it for a whole bunch of money.
Oh shit!
I was saying my people, my old timer, he had the daughter, the granddaughter, so he had the daughter to Hoochie Mama, and bred it to a dynamite grandson, and the owner of that dog, male dog, he went away for a couple joints or whatever the case may be, came home, so the dog's like, once he did the dog into a year, they like 13 months. You know what I'm talking about? And it was like 10 of them were still around and shit. So I had 3 of them. So I basically told him, I'll give him 2 of my shit, basically, because I got them for free. So I said, man, I'll give you 2 of these shits back. I'm keeping one of them. You feel what I mean? The one that passed, I was going to keep her. Long story short, we had a Barracuda bitch that we had her. So he got her back. He ain't take none of the puppies. And long story short, took the father pass offline, bro. You heard?
Damn.
So that's why I never really been breeding my shit. Cause I ain't never could get this nigga registered, man, because he took the pass down type shit. You heard?
Damn.
Like I bred him to his sister because I had to live with my sister and shit. But other than that, man, I just been sitting on this nigga mad as hell, man. Good ass dog too, boy.
Hey, the dogs get around. That's interesting. They all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I got to get on here. It's getting late here.
It's good talking to y'all too, man.
Always. Buck, if you're still there, thanks for having me on. Salute to the chat, the panel. Had a great time. We'll do it again.
Yes, sir.
Salute.
All right, brother. Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Yo, Buck, you still there? Buck, Craig, yeah. Yo.
Yeah, he be stepping out.
Huh?
I said he be stepping out.
Shit. I'll roll up too now. Shit, y'all ain't got me out.
Nah, that's what, boy. That's all I'm doing. I get off of here, I'm be doing the book just looking at hounds, man. You know? So, real shit. So I fall asleep or listen to some of these ones that I probably caught a couple days ago. You know what I'm talking about? A couple of these old shows and shit. Yeah, homeboy took the motherfucking pass down, man. Fuck my whole groove up, man.
Yeah, I had one of them. I had a red one. That little nice, big, nice red female, man.
Yeah, that's them shit spit. Them red ones, all right. I'm only saying that because my like I said, I had 3 of them.
Yeah.
And my shit's more so my male buckskin, more so buckskin color. His sisters that I had was like more brown. They was buckskin, but they was like more brown, darker. And then you had the red ones. And all them red shits was really like different. They was basically bigger. I'm gonna say that.
I ain't gonna lie. She was a big female, like a boy, man. She was
I'm
way bigger than my female was way bigger than Hoochie Mama.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'll tell you that. Just like my male mom, Grace, Hoochie Mama daughter, she big as hell, man. Them red ones big as hell, and my male, the puppies that I just had. Well, I had them 3 years ago. The last litter, I had 3 red ones in there, and all them shits was way bigger than the rest of them shits. You know what I'm saying? When them shits like 8, 9 months, them shits looking grown as hell. Like,
yeah, I ain't gonna. Yeah, by the time I ain't allowed, my dog, she looked like a boy dog, and by the time she was 12 months old, she looked like a grown dog. Yeah. They had nice conformation and everything. A really nice dog. I wish y'all had kept it. I had her. She was nice, man, and I wanted I was gonna take it to I had a grandson of Grand Champion Rattler. I had a son of Grand Champion Rattler.
mm.
I was gonna put him on her. I ain't never get to do it, man. Trying to be cool with people, man. Don't never pan out.
Yeah. Shit, I came down south and shit, but so I don't know nobody out this motherfucker besides the motherfuckers I met in the 5 years I've been out here. But shit, I don't know, like, so I'm cooling on that type of level, like, you know what I mean? I ain't around motherfuckers don't know where I live at, that type of shit. I'm cool.
Sometimes it's better like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
I ain't fine. I ain't know what it. That's why when they be on here going off, I just be listening to that shit. Like, man, like, first and foremost, motherfuckers don't even know each other. You know what I'm coming from? Yeah. So they be on some shit, like, they be going off and shit. Like, come on.
I don't got time for that. I just want to. I'm a gentleman at first, man. I just want to talk dogs and all that. Any of that other stuff, I don't want anyone to be involved.
Yeah.
We already, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't even worth it. It's like this. It's like this, man. It's the same rules apply. Usually, the loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room. And you ever see like on Facebook, something you see those dudes that's always yelling and talking and.
Yeah, that's why I said I just be looking at all that shit. I just be like, man, these motherfuckers out here in this world really great.
Clowns.
Yeah, serious. Like, really. Nah, real talk, bro. I said, like, I watch all this shit. You know where I'm coming from? And, you know, I fuck with the dog, so I watch all this shit, bro.
Yo, you know what? It's a new type of dog. I don't know. It's a new type of dog thing. They think they start stirring up, kicking up dust and yelling and hooping and hollering and starting controversy. That makes them a good dog man. Yeah.
That's why I made that one about, about building that yard, at the end of the day. Because you could be remembered just from barking on YouTube. I mean, if that's what you want, but
do, right?
I mean, shit, at the end of the day, you got some type of body of work. Something's got to been working, I mean, genuine, whatever,
I don't know. Some of these dudes, they make their own. Now you go over there and make your own and start lying, I guess. That's they
just going after cats.
Shit, or dudes of my or going and start talking, really talking about shit you don't know. But they just make their own lanes on there. These dudes are so crazy, and you know what? Like people like that, I don't know. People, everybody look over. I see people be over there making up all kind of shit. Huh?
That'd be, you know what I mean? A lot of shit don't need to be spoke about type shit, you know what I mean? Because be bringing up old shit, but this is some months back, and shit not that long ago, you know what I mean? I was definitely wasn't gonna call in, but at the same time, it just be on some shit where, like, motherfuckers really be missing points sometimes, or be missing situations and shit.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, what is on look, and I be peeping in the corner like that. When your boy on that, you talking about? So
yeah.
that whole little situation, he doing started up shit fast as hell. Now we sit here 3 weeks, then a month later, motherfuckers niggas ain't fucking with each other no more type shit. Not saying, but I'm just saying in general. You know what I'm saying? You know, motherfuckers was pulling up over here, you was pulling up over here, like, and it just like he hopped on with old timer, fuckers got on his ass, bringing up old. Now it's just wait, you know what I'm saying?
I'm still trying to figure. I mean, he just,
you on the mic.
but what did I do? I just want to know what I did.
Nothing. So that's what I'm trying to explain. That it's going to be a motherfucker that's not in the mix, that's sitting there and looking at all these shits. That's going to understand it. Like, and now just peeped it. Like, damn, I'm throwing here to talk about old OG and them saying this and that when that shit in the it was
just
like
self-destructed and then blew spot up.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, man, that's how the man work though. The man come in and try to really like conquer, like, you know where I'm coming from? Divide conquer actually. Like he came in straight just like did some fuck shit quick as hell, like. But I'm like, damn, nobody ain't even peeping, like, you know what I mean?
Now, if you look at it like that, because that's kind of the way I was just thinking, like, no way it could be that.
Nah, it ain't. But that's how I
thought motherfuckers was realer than that. You know, I was like, well, you know, but
no, I'm on it like that. I'm like, man, he just did some more wild shit. Like, he wild bring up some old shit down now. You know what I mean? Or I could take you way back further when Dr. Thotty jumped on one time. I remember you was cool and you was talking about some shit or it was going down or whatever was happening, and he happened to jump on and start talking about the skinny nigga, like, you know where I'm coming from, and that's when he called in and you and him going back and forth, and he was coming like, oh, y'all over here talking about me, when it's like, yo, this nigga hung up, and it wasn't even nothing.
I can't even go back and forth with a dude like that. I can't even. Yo, you won, nigga. Like what you won, like.
But it was so crazy because I'm like, damn, somebody called in and brung his name up. It wasn't like motherfuckers was over here already talking about him. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm like, damn, now him and Buck arguing, and then you and OG start having not words, but you and OG, you know what I'm coming from? So I'm damn, like, you know what I mean? I be peeping all that shit though. Like, I be on that shit. Like, man, nigga be on some clown shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they know how to get up in here, man, and infiltrate. You know.
Nah, that shit be crazy.
Unfortunately, we be letting it happen though. It's like, fuck.
I wouldn't even pay him no attention. Like, but you got to pay him attention
because the banana in the tailpipe, you know.
He's just like an idiot. Like, I don't got no time. Like, that's some dumb. Like, what is your purpose? He's like a plant. He like they put him here or something. Like, they're like, you know what? You can't leave us that look. You got some work to do. Maybe he got some charges he got to work off. I don't know. He alone.
For real.
Maybe they let him off. He got
loving bulldogs. You know, this is loving bulldogs. You know, like loving hip hop. You know.
Yeah. My thing is, listen, man. I don't know, man. That's the equivalent of somebody get caught for, I guess, let's say weed. You get caught for selling weed, now you just got a vendetta on all the weed. It's like, or people that smoking weed, the people that selling weed, the people that's around the weed.
Any motherfucker that smell like weed, he on your ass.
Yo, what the hell?
I don't get it.
But then you still trying to sell. But after you do that, but then you got a weed spot over there trying to sell you some weed too. Like, huh?
Right. Okay. I see what this all about. You trying to get your shit off. But that's what it always is. I ain't gonna lie.
That shit crazy.
Motherfuckers stir up that shit because controversy sells. That's real. That's real life. And you might run off a couple potential customers too, but if you on there arguing about your dog and shit, you know, I done been there, and you know, motherfuckers just be hitting you up just like trying to cop everything. So I get why these dudes do that shit, because it's like, okay, you the talk of the day, you know.
I see people arguing all day on Facebook just going and start arguing for nothing. Then he be asking me, you know about this dude, dog? I'm like, man, don't call me about this stupidness. I don't know about that dumb shit. Yeah.
So did you hear about the Christian Brown dude?
Well, he infiltrating he the dude that he got with all them the dogs, and he infiltrated I seen him.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and he's kind of sketchy. I look back at some of his old posts and shit. He's definitely a sketchy guy.
Yo, I seen some of the dudes I fool with. I had to text him, email, send him a text like, "Yo, look, you his friend. They'll tighten up."
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, straight up, man. That was a blessing from heaven, man, because that guy's all amongst everything.
Yeah, I was like, yo, y'all need to tighten up.
Yes.
I think somebody post that shit right before you jump on and start talking about that shit. I'm like, damn, I just seen this too.
Yeah, I had to hurry up. I couldn't wait. You know, sometimes you got to push the lesson plan for another day and talk about what's real.
I had to hit cracking like, yo, I had to text him like, yo, look, you great. Soon you the first person I see is his friend. Like, yo, that motherfucker out of here.
Yeah, I already put to be fucking with cracking, man. Not for nothing, man. I'm wild. I'm down here wild. All right, done.
I get that shit up. I don't know. You gotta be careful. These motherfuckers, man, crazy, man, for nothing. And nobody
hate. They just sit back, and dude said he's sitting back for hours and gathering data. And I mean, come on, man. That's hate. You hate us.
What was your purpose?
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it? Oh man,
everybody like that beef shit. I get it. It's a breath of fresh air. Just like today, we jumped up on here and got a nice, few hours in and just straight grinding. You know what I'm saying? But
I gotta hit you. I gotta talk to you about.
Oh yeah,
back thing. I got definitely. But.
But a lot of the dudes, you seen them, man, that they'll come up. This should be funny as fuck to me. Cause like, okay, so we had a great stream. It's like motherfuckers ain't calling in now. But when it's about some controversy shit, motherfuckers call in. It's like, well, fuck, let me get in on this cliz out. This is what it seemed to me.
Man, I hate that, man. Yo, as soon as all that, I stay far away from that. I like to stay in the cut. I don't like all that controversy and all that dumb shit. We talking about
it's like, hey man, you could have hit him on the back street, man. You could have hit me on the back street and told me shit.
Yeah, fucking idiot.
So what are you talking about? Like, we all here for the entertainment, bro. Let's see, when we turn it into something else, that's when you fuck up. This is entertainment, bro.
Exactly.
Let's keep people's addresses and wives and kids and shit out of it and just pop this shit. Fuck it. It's simple,
Yeah, they be wow.
Like WWE, man.
Yeah. I'd rather debate some topics though, because I'm gonna keep the format, because I like to debate topics. Like, we could debate, motherfucker like dogs, eat like dogs. You know, he might like Red Boy Jocko dogs. You know, motherfucker get up here, we clear it out, and then motherfucker go back and forth like, oh, shit, this good dog for that good dog, this good dog for that dog, you know, and just go down the list, you know. That's healthy shit. It's a good argument. It gets heated, people get emotional, but it's healthy though. You know, that's what I want. Honestly, it's gonna happen. Everything I've been wanting so far, shit just happens. So I'm gonna just want this shit and eat it.
I gotta give me them inbred lynch mic holes, man.
You just heard me say I supposed to have been already on cracking ass already, man. You heard?
You gotta get with it, man. It's real.
Man,
I gotta give me one of them and throw it in my rubber over here.
Well, I know a fact that War Pony, that's gonna be a real good one because that one been done before. I mean, that's not a guarantee, but been done before. They came out phenomenal. And then there's one that's a little heavier on the mic, but that breed haven't been done before. The bitch Hannibal throwing some good dogs, but the bitch it's her first time. You know how that goes.
I seen that she big. I'm waiting.